Now you've disappeared. Oh, now you're back.
You've disappeared. No, you're back.
Okay, and you went really blurry for a second. Hopefully this won't take up too much computing power, and hopefully resetting the modems made it work better. So, welcome to episode with the Fox camera. There. Welcome to episode 2 of.
This is episode 2 already.
It's like episode 10, but for the people, we have no idea what we're about to say, but you were just about to say something about what we were about to answer the question to.
I was about to say, I think the reason that I learned how to read analog clocks really well was because I worked in kitchens for so long, and they always just had one silly little clock. There'd be one, possibly two if you're in a really fancy kitchen. And it would always be one of those really shitty ones with no numbers, just be Roman alphabet numerals, but they'd be like the clock would be white and they'd be cream coloured, so you could barely see them. And then you just see these little pins in the corner. I'm sure it was done on purpose. They'd always set the clock like 10 minutes early and shit as well, like just so you.
But also because you're related to Flipper. You would have seen the Speedo clock a few times when trying to compete with your personal best.
Clock. Yeah, well, you just whip your head out of the water for a second.
That would have given you some familiarity with that whole. There's a circle with the lines.
Yeah, maybe it was just like something that just led on through that. Yeah. But it's funny. Yeah, I mean, there's no need for it. I've got a watch, and I only wear it because my wife bought it for me. You know, it's a lovely watch. I really like it, but it's kind of a hassle to wear, you know, because I'm not used to it because of phones. And
you wash your hands regularly and stuff, so it gets wet underneath.
But then I remember back in the day before the iPhones, well, maybe even bordering on the Nokia 5110 times, but they weren't good enough to read the time. Like that was ridiculous. Phones were just phones back then. And I remember wearing a watch like rain, hail, or shine. It was a good one too. My dad bought it for me, and I'd wear it surfing. I'd wear it in the shower. I'd wear it like sleeping, everything. And it gets smelly like every now and then. You just wash it, and anyway, different times.
But do you prefer a digital clock, or you yourself a little mental pat on the back whenever you read an analog clock?
Oh no,
I can do this. I'm a grown up. I'm a big kid.
No, knowing the time's necessity. So whatever's in front of you.
Yeah, nice.
Sure.
Like I was just saying to Peter that if I've got a watch on my wrist, I've got an analog watch, and I've got a phone in my pocket, I'll reach into the pocket because I just want to click that button. It takes a bit longer than doing this. But I think the way watches are facing outwards all the time, and if you've got a glass in your hand, like you've got one right now, say, "What's the time, Peter?" Oh shit! Oh no! Right?
Yeah, it's habitual. It's habitual. Like if you have a watch on your arm the whole time, you know exactly where it is.
No, but why were watches invented so that the back of the wrist is the place to put the time? Why weren't they invented so it was there? That's the spot where you can see straight away.
It was incremental technology. They took it out of the pocket and put it on the wrist.
But they still haven't been redeveloped. All new watches are still showing outwards.
Then they just made big ones and put them in town.
Time while you're bloody holding a drink. Just put it there on that side of your wrist.
There's surely a time in between drinking. Like you just glance at it. This is the whole thing. You need to learn how to read the watch quickly. You can, in the time it takes to lift your drink, you should be able to read the watch.
If you got a cigarette in one hand, you got a drink in the other. You better hope that what are you going to swap hands? Or you'll get in the habit of holding the drink in your right hand. That's why you wear your watch on your left wrist.
No, the habit is wearing the watch. That's the habit. So you know where it is. So you're going to take. You're not even going to take the time to look at it. You know where your hand is at that time when you're doing another action. That you can have a glance at it and check out the time. That's the habit.
But your eyeballs can't bend around the watch, right? To see.
I don't need to. It's just a little refraction of the wrist, and you're in.
Too much turning. Wrist doing this, wrist doing that. It's too much.
And you get to know your watch as well. You know the numbers. You know where it lies. You know the angle of your wrist. You know everything. You know, like you.
Sometimes it says 9:30 and it's really 2:30 or something because the watch is upside down. What the hell's going on?
Well, if time doesn't matter, it's fine.
Because I have to go into a different mindset, like I'm speaking another language, all right? And so I'm proud of myself. Oh, cool! I read the time. What was I looking at the time for again? It's like I don't remember. Exactly. It's like I need to hurry up.
What are you looking at the time for? Yeah.
But
Well,
you're good at it. It's
unfortunately,
part of your everyday life. I mean, if you could have a readout in your retina somewhere, permanently telling you what time it was and date, day, week,
it's disgusting. The
you
crazy thing
wouldn't
is
do that.
the human body. Well, no, no. There's enough. There's enough time around. I don't know. If everything evolved to that, I guess that's the
No, well, I mean, if
story.
you have an implant, would you get the implant?
Yeah, but it wouldn't just be for a clock. It'd be for
Okay,
other
but I'm
stuff.
asking you. I'll upgrade. I'll tell you the next step after you tell me if just having the time and date is okay at all
I
times.
think
You're not allowed to turn it off.
you're not allowed to turn it off.
Okay,
Surely,
so
surely there's a function.
but
You
it
could
can
just mute it.
it can sort of dim. So even if you're lying in bed with your eyes closed and you haven't bother getting up yet, you're wondering.
No, I
You
don't
just,
want that.
okay, if you wonder. Okay. Here, how about this? If you
No.
wonder what the time is, then it comes up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
But
and also,
it'd have to
what
be
about
like good technology. Like, because
that's
what if I
in
wasn't
leaked.
wondering that and the time came? What if I was
No,
wondering
no.
like,
It would be
about
it
hot
would
dogs and
it
the time
understands
came
when
up?
you're wondering. The machine understands when you're wondering something.
Okay.
It doesn't
As
think.
long as it's like understands.
It's not
Probably.
like, yeah, it does. Okay. And secondly, if you could get a perfect memory of somebody, everything's recorded sort of vaguely in your brain. It's all murky, right?
Yeah.
But if you get a
Yeah.
perfect reenactment, it's like, I wonder how so and so is going. And then it gives you the latest Facebook information about this person and stuff because you're wondering about, oh, cool. Okay. Would you be okay with that?
Don't know. Don't know. It's hard to say, you know, like that
But
kind of
you wonder.
like
But
that
you'd have
kind
to
of
go
like
and Google it or
because the
look
whole
it up.
because you have to all this stuff's incremental, right? So that's like wow, like okay, 20 years ago you say that, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know?
Reach in my pocket and tell you what you
But
did
we're
today.
already at a level where, you know, like if people choose to put their lives online, you know, some people just don't do it and you just don't see them. That's fine. But the people that are online, they choose to put online what they want to put online, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
companionship. There aren't enough angels and gods looking out over their shoulder. So then say, does anyone else want to know what I'm doing?
Fucking
Yeah, internet.
Oh, I was listening to a
You missed
citation
out.
needed the other day, and they were talking about how angels fucked humans, and that's where the giants came from.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
So are angels really big, are they?
Well, no, it must have just been like big
But
something. I don't know.
Wasn't it Gabriel who came down to Earth to have a bit of a quickie with Mary at one point?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, she was a virgin, surely, but
So Gabriel just came in through the window. This is what she told her husband anyway.
yeah.
He just
And
flew
he
in
just-
through the window, and
said,
he just
"Oh, you're pregnant."
touched her on the belly, and now she's pregnant.
I don't even think he touched her, didn't he? Just
Oh, sure did. I'm gonna write my name on your face.
fucking Joseph was like down at the construction site a
They
couple
thought
of
all the hard
towns down the road. Fucking
Saying, when will my bitch wife
carpentering.
finally put out?
Yeah.
Right?
He was
I thought it was
carpenter
supposed to
too,
be
wasn't he?
something-
Didn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because
He
he
had
taught
to
Jesus.
use an axe and a chisel and shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine
his
him
wife-
teaching his son. He
Something-
knew he wasn't his son. Like the whole carpentry
It's
thing. Do
like-
you reckon he taught him wrong?
Bloody Gabriel fucking chopping down trees and shit.
Yeah.
Gabriel with the wings.
Do you
Fucking
reckon he
bitch.
taught him
You know,
wrong? Like,
Everyone else is laughing at him at
I've
the
never
factory. It's
seen.
like,
I've never seen a depiction of Jesus like showing off a cabinet or anything like that.
oh, in the movie Passion of the Christ by Mel Gibson,
Oh, I haven't
starring. God, haven't you seen it? It's violent, awesome.
Actually,
movie.
you know what? I really should have seen it. It's one of those ones. You know what? It's one of those ones because I knew it was long and epic, and I wanted to put the time aside to watch it, and I just other shit's come up, and it's been
it can be on the to-do
years.
list.
But yeah,
But everything else is a TV series. This one's only a 2-hour movie or whatever it is, right?
yeah, I know, and you know what? It's been that long, and you know what? I've forgotten about it because of TV series. They've made,
But
me
it can't date. Can't date.
and I lost my passion
Special
for
effects
Christ
aren't
in the meantime. So.
But it's still obviously the Bible's full of interesting stories. It would make good movies, though, right?
Very interesting stories. I like the stories in the Bible. Some of them
See,
are my favorites.
I
like the aging, the aging process of people in the Bible. Like all the beginning people like live for so long and everything,
900.
and then they backed off. Like, do you reckon God at some stage is just like, fuck, this fucking like these people are living too long. Like we're gonna have to change this. And like,
Because when they started increasing the number of people, it's like, yeah, we don't need a 900-year story. After about 80 years, it starts getting a bit stale and samey. Let's just
and
stop. 80's enough.
Are you like a middle-aged man in your 500s? Are you like
Yeah.
is that when you go through your midlife crisis?
Yeah.
About 500?
Like Noah was driving a Ferrari before he started building the Ark. It was like, yeah, the Bible. We always come back to the Bible because there's not much happening in real life to talk about.
No, well, I mean,
The
obviously the Bible
president of the
depicts
United
everything
States.
that happens in real life.
Yeah, no, but it does. It reflects society with all the goats and stuff.
All the goats. Oh, you know what? There's a lack of goats in Australia. That's for sure.
Oh, there?
Well, I think there's lots around, but you don't see them like in terms of like I know you never go shopping for goat meat, but on occasion I would, and it's difficult to find. You need to find the right purveyors of the produce. And
What's the deal with? But sheep give you wool and meat, I guess, is the thing about sheep. Why get a goat?
do you get wool from goats?
Get a bit of
Or
fur.
it's like furry, like dog furry sort of thing.
Baby. I had a little kid, literally on my lap in Nepal.
A kid
So
is in like a baby goat.
Yeah,
Kid. Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
It's so soft, the fur. I reckon it gets harder as it gets older, but it's
You
not.
make pillows. Did you make pillows out of them?
Out of the little babies. Yeah,
And
you
the
want to
little
use the
baby-
baby fur. The baby fur.
You need at
the
least
skin
3.
Baby. Yeah. It would be the same as a puppy. You could skin a few puppies and make a nice jacket, I reckon. Very soft.
A beanie, like a stuffed beanie. That'd be good. Never had like have you ever seen a stuffed beanie?
What?
Stuff a beanie with baby goat hair. Have you ever seen a stuffed beanie? You only ever get beanies that are like just the
Yeah.
material, and they
It'd be a
just
small
shove off.
cushion.
I want like a beanie that's stuffed like a cushion.
Yeah.
Just protect me.
Oh, you mean a padded beanie?
No, stuffed. Like it's like it's
Cushion.
like a material on the outside, and it's like stuffed with like the down of a Nepalese baby goat.
So there was all these bald, cold little kids walking around Nepal.
I'll give them a heated shack. They can take one of the menstruation shacks for a while.
Just remember to try and stay in the middle of the thing, because when Skype cuts us, it'll cut off the outside edges. Yeah, stay in the middle. Also, I don't know, something's happening this recording compared to last time. Like you're staying still a lot of the time. It's like freeze for like 10
You've cut a
seconds.
few times as well.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know what's
across the
happening.
screen. Yeah.
It's got to be to do with our network
Gotta be
connection
connection.
between us.
Yeah, it's got to be connection.
I reckon the later at night that it is, the less people are using the internet. So it should be better now than during the daytime, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm going to look
Cigarette.
into. Yeah, I'm going to have a cigarette too. I'm smoking.
No, I was
inside.
just
I hope I don't
going to
get
say,
into
like, one of these packets at my local 7-Eleven has just gone up to $52 a pack.
Holy shit.
And they're not stopping.
Get them from the supermarket.
I know, but 52, that's insane.
That's crazy.
One
In
pack of
Adelaide,
cigarettes.
the petrol stations sell ciggies the same price as the like supermarkets
Really?
and stuff. Like they're expensive
good.
still, but like they're not like you don't bum out. Like I know, I remember living in Cessnock. If you miss the supermarket and have to go to a petrol station, it's like $10
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
in a pack.
that's right.
But no, not here.
Oh, that's good. So they
No.
might still be 39. These are Benson Hedges smooth. They're like-
Yeah. Well, I got a pack today, which they're pretty premium. It wasn't today, it was yesterday. That
Off
was
the tongue.
$39.
Classic.
25.
Which brand is it?
Peter Stuyvesant Classic. 25. So like just
This
as
is
good
like
as
8
that.
milligrams of tar, I reckon. And
Yeah, mine
smooth.
are 8s as well. Yeah, classics. Yeah, smooth is the same. There's the same, exactly the same as this.
Because
But, like,
classic is another name for Benson and Hedges, but that's the 16s.
Right, but not in this, not in the Peter Stuyvesant. It
Yeah,
used to
there's
be
no- there's no
blues.
rule.
No, there's no
Yeah.
rule. Each brand is their own thing. Yeah. Yeah. And you got to remember, like, you actually have to be an old school smoker before they brought these packs out to understand all the milligram differentiation.
That's right. If you're
And I
thinking
don't know why
now,
they
and
take that away. Like, why do they take that away? Like, what
because
the
they don't
fuck?
want you to know, they say it's all dangerous, it's all going to kill you, so don't worry.
But the light one, like, because if you're a heavy smoker and you accidentally buy a light packet, like a 2 milligram packet, you'll be fucking puffing the fuck out of that thing, man. You'll be grabbing that thing, man. It'll be 2 puffs, it's gone.
I want to
Right.
eat one first, just to give myself a little bit of a.
Surely that's more dangerous than like just taking your little puffs of your strong one and poof, poof,
Yeah.
poof, poof, poof. I reckon. Yeah, for sure. Why'd they take it away? Silly. People that don't
Yeah.
smoke, they took it away.
They're making it less healthy. I think your mum's friend had something to do with it.
Let's not talk about my mum's friend.
I think she had a lot to do with the entire increase in prices, the vomit green packaging.
Well, look, it is. You know what? Smoking it is fucking bad, and it puts a fucking massive payroll on the Medicare in this country and all that sort of shit in all countries. But I don't know. It's fucking. It is what it is. It's all taxed.
I live for it. No, I mean it's just it's. If I wasn't addicted before I was addicted to cigarettes, I felt like there was something majorly missing in my life. Seriously, I'd had relationships and stuff.
What? And you felt that cigarettes?
Well, I mean, I had to take antidepressants, all this other sort of stuff, though.
Yeah,
but it didn't help. So these did totally help. They're the best antidepressants on the market.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, they say so that should be you to apply for a subsidy, government subsidy on top of all the taxes. So, like,
yeah, cigarette subsidy. As a subsidy, is that when they help?
Subsidy is when the government helps. Like basically most pharmaceuticals are subsidized by the government.
Yeah,
so like all your standardized
medical
ones.
Reasons.
So like medicinal. No, like your proper doctor stuff. Nothing medicinal is subsidized, but all your like. I'm just trying to think of. So say you get like pain relief or something like that. You know, you'll be able to get a packet of pain relief tablets for like good ones you can't get from the supermarket, but proper doctors ones. You might get them for $15-16 for a packet, whereas the actual price of that might be $60-70.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm just fucking making numbers up out of my ass, but it's just an example of how they would subsidize it.
So everybody
and then
tax.
pensioners get an even different subsidy tax. So that I think they pay just like a normal pensioners and like certain concessions. They pay just a flat fee for whatever medicines are on the regiment. So medicines on the regiment just means medicines that are subsidised, and they're all subsidised different levels. Nice collection.
Yeah,
but yeah, it literally just means that the government pays per packet per person to have that medicine.
Well, they should definitely be subsidising my antidepressants.
Well, if cigarettes are an antidepressant, then they should reverse the taxes on the purchases of your cigarette.
Back pay me.
I remember
the other day. It was like $100,000 he saved over the last 15 years. If we average it out to 20.
Yeah, but everyone's got a vice. Everyone's got a vice, man. At least you're not fucking involving yourself in backyard pedophilia or some shit like that, man. That shit's expensive.
Some people are so healthy they fucking sprinkle a little bit of Himalayan rock salt into their water to have water. Like, have some Ribena. Fuck.
lucky they can get the Himalayan stuff. I swear to God, because that other shit is fucking horrible.
Is it? You joking? It's the same stuff.
It's fucking salt, mate. It's fucking salt. And you know what? The dirtier the color of the salt means there's the more shit's in it.
Nutrients and minerals.
Sorry. Nutrients and minerals. Yeah, that's right. That's what they are. Yeah, because the dirtier the dirt, the more nutrients and minerals are in it. Yeah. Fucking hell, mate. Like, next we'll be drinking cloudy water and going, oh, there's so many nutrients and minerals in it. Yeah. Where'd you get it from? Oh, the fucking backyard, mate. Yeah.
Local dam. It's local, so you know it's good.
Yeah, we fermented for like 15 months. It hasn't been moving since then. Should be good.
See the sediment at the bottom of the water? You don't drink that part.
That's all the nutrients and minerals.
You just shake it up a little bit at the start and have a bit of a drink of the damn water after. It's got a bit of
Yeah,
frog
no, man.
droppings.
There's no need to involve yourself with nutrients and minerals.
The thing is, a lot of these people, let's say left thinkers, who are adamant that you have to eat raw food and do all these different things and do yoga and shit and worship the goddess of light
Yeah,
or
yeah,
some shit, right?
sure.
What is their objective? Are they trying to win in the
Oh,
longevity game? Try to have a longer life? Does it
I
make them
think
feel better?
possibly. I mean,
I
it
think it would
could
make me
be.
feel better to eat delicious food.
I mean, the fact that we know about it means that they're probably trying to gain popularity in their own social circles
That's
by
what it
talking
is.
about it. And
That's what it is. But they're adamant though. They're angry if you don't do it. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
but
okay,
no, you're not
there are
doing
things that are,
like. I mean, yeah, like, well, okay. So, like, someone who does this, right? Like, what would happen if you turned around like every day and went, yeah, I've been doing it all day, and you don't go home and do it for shit, you don't fucking go home and roll out your yoga mat. Like, you might get your dog to scratch on it a bit just to make it look used up, but fucking you're not. And then, like, would they be happy then, or like? So I think it's a projection on themselves, mate. Like, they want you to know that they're doing it and being mega healthy. Even though we all know Uncle Pat is the
Drinks
biggest
beer.
legend of the world, and
Yeah.
he'd tell all these fuckers to fuck themselves in the fucking ass.
Yeah, because you don't need. I mean,
Like,
how long are you expect? How much longer are you expecting to live? Like when people talk about healthy versus unhealthy, like I get told constantly by people, don't eat that extra chewing gum because it's got phenylalanine in it and it'll give you
Yeah.
cancer. It comes in vats of poison, toxic waste stuff.
yeah,
But I'm
it's all
still
about
alive and I'm
dosage, right?
smoking.
Everything's
So.
dosage. Everything's dosage. Everything's dosage. So poison is in dosage. You can have cyanide, but you just can't have enough to kill you. You know, like, fucking
Can have a spider
same as
bite.
everything. Yeah, some things the human body's got tolerance to, like certain types of radiation. You know, we can have a level of radiation, and there won't be a build up of that over your lifetime. It just dissipates, and you've got the, you know, you can sustain it. But then other things like mercury or something or lead, there can be a build up in your body over time. You know, so there's heaps. There's everything's different. Everything comes with it within itself.
So you think that people talking about health stuff is more about reputation than actual health?
Well, no, I think that in modern society now, we have to trust the professionals, the people that test this stuff, and because any herb is a drug, like herbs are drugs as well. It's not
But
like,
I thought only if it was addictive, like sugar is a drug, but not something like lettuce.
oh no, when I say drug, I just mean like something that has like pharmaceutical, has a pharmaceutical purpose, right? So
Oh,
like say like you have all the your naturopathy stuff and or your so what's the fucking like okay, St. John's wort, for instance, right? It's
yeah.
that's known as an antidepressant. You've probably heard of it, right?
Yeah.
That's sold in pharmacies, and it's unregulated. There is scientific proof that there is a chemical in St. John's wort that does have a similar property to what they use in synthetic modern medicines, but in the dosages that you get in the pharmaceutical grades, it's all unregulated. So you don't know what the dosage is, if there is a dosage of that active chemical to start with, and the fact that it's unregulated, it just makes it all bullshit. You know, like you just how do you trust something that when science tests it is wrong? Like you know what?
But
We
isn't
don't
there
have
still a
Google.
debate between doctors on something even as basic as vaccines?
Oh well, I don't know. I think the vaccine debate's pretty much part and parcel, man. Like you've got it's your hippies versus the rest of the world, man. Like
Because if you
vaccines.
give yourself a small amount of a disease that your body can use its immune system to overcome, the body has now created antibodies. That's the principle,
Yes,
right?
that's the
And so
principle. Yeah,
certain things
but
like
it's a
measles, your
benign
body
version of
will
it.
never let
They
that
don't give
into
you a
your body.
live. They don't give you a live version of it. in a vaccine. It's not a live version of the
But
virus.
still, people, it seems to work because, like, I think an entire generation of people got the smallpox vaccine in their arm. You can see the little stamp that they've received if they're over a certain age, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They've
yeah,
all
yeah.
they all
And,
got it
and
on
all
their
the
arm.
they did it more recently in Thailand because my wife's from Thailand, so
Mm.
I know a lot of Thais, and yeah, they've all got it.
She got an
All
arm.
people my age,
She
they've all
got a
got it.
circle arm.
Yeah,
It's
well, it's
a
like a
circle on
tiny
her arm.
little. It's like a it's like a looks like a cigarette burn butt out
Yeah,
sort of thing.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All Thai people my age and have it. Yeah,
What kind of syringe is that? Why did they? It's like, yeah, we're not going to give you
I don't
every
know, man.
single
Yeah, I
individual
have
syringe
asked about
individually
it.
into a small
I have
hole.
asked.
We're going to give you
Yeah,
like 20 of them. Conk, take that.
yeah. I
Like,
don't think none of them knew what it was either. They were just all forced to have it.
smallpox,
Was it smallpox? I'm not sure. Yeah, because I have asked.
polio,
Yeah, I don't think it was either of those. I think it was something else.
measles,
But there might be all
rubella.
of those ones might have similar reaction. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
interesting.
serious. Like it's
German
lifelong.
measles, they're more deadly than regular measles.
What's that?
Wir will
German
put spots on over your
cockroaches.
body.
Nasty little fucks, man. That little fucking German cockroaches, man. They come in like armies.
Are they? The German.
Stink.
What's that?
Yeah.
I saw you spraying something around your door frame.
Oh
What's-
yeah. It was just like a because it's just becoming spring, so there's heaps of insects attracted to light. It's just like a surface spray, insect surface spray, just to stop them coming in.
Yeah, cool. It's clever.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
because
those
sometimes
electrical field transmitters that make insects not want to stick around or something. Have you seen that?
I don't
Plug it into a
know.
wall socket and it goes
think
wham,
they-
wham,
yeah,
wham,
I
wham.
have seen them. You know what? I've never tried one, so I couldn't tell you. But you know what? Yeah, I don't know.
It'll harm my vibrational essence. I don't want that in the house. It's
Yeah.
invading my space.
Invading your space. Yeah.
Yeah, I was with a girl once. She said, "I don't want you in my space." I went with this girl who I'd met one night, and she went away to the bathroom and came back naked. Like, hey, and she just leaned over and was like, "Good morning," and then in the morning, I get a phone call from somebody who's been screwing me around with my internet connection or something like that. I've
Yeah.
been saying, "Do you even know how to do your job?" Blah blah. Because he was in loudspeaker for a second, and I think it's because he was, "Do not bamboozle me with all your problems." He's Indian or something, right?
Yeah.
So because she heard that, and then I put it onto normal phone, right? And then I continued to speak down at him. Like, I've been waiting for 6 months. Like, I'd had enough. I was like the 30th person I'd spoken to from this company or whatever.
Yeah.
I come back downstairs. She'd made me a beautiful breakfast. And then she says, "I just can't wait for you to get out of my space." So what? I heard what you said to that poor man, right? Thinking it was like this is another thing that those kinds of people.
Well, she had no
Seem to
idea of the context.
No, she didn't have context understanding. She didn't. They can't differentiate between
understanding.
provocation
Yeah.
or
yeah.
as opposed to retort. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
yeah.
I'm defending myself with what I say here. It's like
Oh, mate.
it's like if you tell somebody off, if you yell out the window and say, "Get off the fucking road, you fucking idiot," right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're necessarily some asshole who goes around saying that out the window all the time.
Yeah. That's
Somebody
right.
could have just massively endangered your life and nearly
Yes.
killed you, right?
And you're angry about it.
And then the person was just sitting there with the iPhone, whatever, right?
Yeah.
They look up and go, "What? Why did you yell at that person? Do you want to know the answer? I can explain it to you." "No, just let me out here." Like, what?
Yeah. No, because you were like you weren't paying attention until
You
you
didn't
heard a
understand.
loud noise in the
Yeah, so
background, and
the
then it
person
woke
who's
your
shouting is
secondary
to blame.
mind up. Yeah.
Yeah, so the person who's crying is the innocent person, and the person who's shouting is the guilty one every time.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's not.
If you punch them hard enough, they don't cry.
Oh, I heard a funny joke about this the other day. It was so good. Something about. It was it was really good. I'm so bad at remembering puns and stuff. It was to do with giving somebody enough, and they won't complain
Yeah.
because they'll be dead.
All right.
I don't know.
We'll get
So-
back to it.
Yeah, I won't remember ever.
Don't
so
think
what?
about it.
I just found out on Facebook. You'd think Facebook's a complete waste of time, but it's interesting to see the big events that are happening in people's lives. Like this girl I just did a play with 2 years ago. She was about 21, maybe 22. She's dead.
Yeah. What?
She just died. I don't know how she died, but there was like
Holy shit.
people putting memorials. Yeah,
That's
she was
very
nice, good-looking girl too.
Yeah.
She was
What,
really
like
good
an
at music,
accident or
and I could just see her
sickness?
becoming really successful in music
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't even
Holy
know why.
shit.
They never write why. They never write why on the internet. And about a year ago, I was wondering how
suicide, maybe.
this
They
guy.
don't write, maybe.
No, because died quietly surrounded by her family or something. So maybe she'd
Okay.
had some sort of illness over
Sickness.
time. I wasn't
Yeah.
really going in and checking in on these
Shit.
people to find out what is happening. I only find out at the end. And then
Yeah,
another
yeah.
guy, I was actually wondering how he was going. And it was like in loving memory of. It's like, what?
What?
Says another guy, he had killed himself.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know what for or why or anything.
Well, that's one of the most tragic things ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Because I was wondering about his success in theatre and all sorts of stuff. Because the last I'd heard, it was touring and stuff like that, and he'd been a little bit snobbish at me
Yeah,
a couple
right.
of times.
Well, because
So I
he
was like,
made it.
and I was thinking, I wonder how. Yeah, so I was wondering how other people are sort of doing that sort of stuff, out of jealousy, maybe. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
interest.
whatever.
I don't really ever look at people's Facebook profiles. I just see what's in the feed occasionally, and then
yeah.
But this guy, he killed himself.
Fuck. No. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see people dying so young. He would have been less than just maybe maximum 30.
Yeah, but if you kill yourself, you haven't died young. You've just killed yourself. You know, I don't know. That's different to having an accident or like dying of disease or something. I don't know. Like, sure, there must be millions of like examples in time of people that have wanted to kill themselves and then 5 years later having the best life. You know, like
Yeah,
it's just this. Yeah, the human mind is such a draw sometimes, isn't it? You know, like it can really bring you down.
you just gotta lower your expectations. No,
Well,
seriously. If you take away everything and it just becomes about like surviving in the jungle, like if you want to kill yourself, probably best thing, and I've wanted to a lot, would be to go and try to survive in the desert for a while. Because it'll reawaken certain parts of you. Just sleep openly in the freezing cold on the sand with the sound of snakes slithering around, fucking dingoes and shit.
No. I agree with what you're saying, but you'd want to be like what would bring you back into reality would be your ability to save yourself in that situation. So
That's
your
right.
ability to
It would change your main
build a
thoughts.
shelter to stop the snakes coming in to.
Because I would say
make the fire.
Nearly 100% of the time, people want to kill themselves. I think I can almost speak for everybody who's ever killed themselves, apart from people who've got a painful physical pain that they can't bear anymore. But in every other psychological,
that's completely different story.
Because we assume with killing yourself, it's mostly to do with psychological problems.
We're talking
right?
young people. We're talking young people
who haven't got any
situation in some kind of situation that feel the need that they need to finish things. Yeah.
I'd say nearly 100% is because people aren't loving them to the amount that they want, or caring enough about, or seeing their perspective. They feel isolated.
So
if you don't feel isolated, why would you? If you don't feel isolated, why would you kill yourself?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, and all humans are tribal. You know, we need to be around our friends, our family, and that's how we survive, and as we always have. And that's something we'll talk about in the future, about how religion was such a big part of that in the past. And how
it gave me a lot of. Once I was depressed a long time, but I always had God watching over me and the angels and my dead ancestors and stuff. Once I lost that, because there was no response at all, right? Everything that coincidentally happened was just, I just sort of, okay, well, there might be something synchronistic for some reason that's happening.
Sure.
Maybe.
But see, I don't know. I bring blessing from. I understand, like, I don't look at God. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in religion, anything like that. But some of my grandfather, like if he's someone that when I was young and religious, he's someone that I drew strength from when I was in my swimming races or whatever. I'd be at the end of it where it's like fucking hurt or the lactic acid's kicking in and some guy's ahead of me and I've got to beat him, like I'd draw strength from my grandfather.
He was
And
dead though.
yeah, he was dead. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And I still do that now, but not in a religious fashion. And I didn't do it then in realization, like from when it happened. I don't do it. I never did it religiously then.
He was
But
summoning something that could have been like a witch
I think it's
doctor
more of
kind
a
of thing in your
thought
mind.
and maybe like I think the more I think about it, the more it's I'm just trying to. If he was alive, I would want him to be proud, of his grandson. That's
Yeah,
it. And I think that even just drawing that thought upon yourself
yeah.
could give you an extra percentage,
Well,
on
I won an arm
your
wrestle
thought.
like that. My dog Boof,
Yeah,
who jumped up and hit
yeah,
my tooth and killed my tooth. I was
yeah,
like, by the power of Boof, and I went,
yeah,
ah!
yeah, sure, yeah. You know what? Exactly. There's no religious overtones or undertones
He was alive
to do
too.
with it. It's just you're just sparking a mental thought, something of like familiarity and of like something that gives you a thought of courage or whatever's needed at the time. And yeah, that's what. And sure, if like people could think that's a religious experience, I don't think it is. I think it's you
No, it's
just
not.
egging yourself on. Like
Yeah.
just giving yourself a bit of confidence, extra confidence.
What do you think happens to your mind when you die? Is it just finished blackness forever?
Yeah, I think so.
You're
Yeah.
just another creature on the planet, just crawling around on it.
Well, you're not even a creature anymore. You're just
No, but
gone.
now, right now, though, you're just a
Oh, no.
creature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But
the,
yeah, I. You know what? I don't know. But unless I think the most likely explanation is the Matrix.
the batteries for robots,
Well, not the Matrix, but the. I love the thought of that
computer
we're a
game.
computer program.
Mm.
Yeah, because we couldn't. There's no way we could differentiate between us being that or not being that.
It
How
also
could
helps
we?
to explain spooky action at a distance, quantum entanglement, where one thing and its antimatter counterpart
Can
are
s-
light
can
years
be in
apart,
two
but
places at
they can,
once.
yeah,
Yeah.
they instantly change the spin rotation
Mm.
opposites.
That could be an anomaly of the program. Like
Well, it's not an anomaly if everything is in one CPU this size, right?
yeah,
So we perceive things as having to sit there and just travel, for hundreds of thousands of years and go into a sleeping cocoon or whatever it is, right? In
yeah.
hypersleep to travel to the stars. It's
But what are we
but we're
traveling in?
really
We're just traveling through
we're just
software.
basically this is the software saying well, this is how long it should take according to
Yeah,
the calculations of their reality.
yeah. Oh, they want to pretend to be asleep for this period of time. Okay, we'll let them
Yeah,
be asleep.
they could just take the shortcut. Why don't they just quantum
Yeah.
entangle themselves over there? Yeah, transport's a bit of a pain in the ass. But
Yeah. Well, what about pixelation? So in real life, like we have computers that's got pixels and that dictates the quality. So
mm,
in real life, there must be pixelation if that's the case.
yeah, well, as
So
far as we've zoomed down, there's always
an
more to
atom
zoom down.
or a quark. A quark is
Hadron,
the.
yeah. I don't know what the smallest thing they've found is.
I think it's a quark.
Like if they look inside an electron that
Not a
goes around the
cheese.
outside, it doesn't see an electron doesn't orbit the nucleus of an atom. It pops all over the place
Yeah, so it's
between.
got elliptical
It's in a field.
elliptical bursts,
I don't
isn't
know how
it? But it
exactly it
always
works.
comes back
It's
to
a
the
field
middle,
of
doesn't it? Yeah, but
it's a field of probability.
yeah, right, yeah. But it also pops, but it always comes back from one side to the other. So there's like that. It's always gonna have to have an elliptical effect, even if it's fine or wide or whatever.
Oh, it's sort of like imagine probably spherical more. Its boundaries, I think it can't go further out than this unless it's torn from the atom by some kind of uh, fusion or fission or something.
Fission, yeah. Well, that's either by
Fission is how
something.
an atom works, isn't it?
Well,
Fission. They're splitting an atom.
fission is splitting the atom by force, but no, it's always pressure. It has to always be pressure or density, no matter what. So
How
what
does the
happens in the
atom
middle
bomb?
of the sun? That's fusion.
Okay.
So that's nuclear fusion. So that's basically
They're turning
just
hydrogen
the
into helium.
density. Yeah, and over time it turns into different properties.
And so an early generation star would
It's
only be
only
able to go
hydrogen
from
and helium.
hydrogen into helium.
That's right, and that's
But
it. That's
then-
all it's got. And then when it explodes, then when it supernovas, it splashes out, and all the new higher metal, like the higher
The
what do you
nuclei
call
and
it?
the
Fucking
elements.
elements, higher the higher density elements form together, and then create a new fusion, and then form higher density elements again,
Yeah.
and then process reciprocates.
So iron can become. Is that one of the heaviest
So
things?
iron would have, so that would have taken probably several generations of stars before
Yeah.
that existed.
So it says every time there's a new planet sort of formed out of sort of an explosion, and it sort of squeezes down the iron in the rock, because molten rock sinks to the middle. So that's why the center of most planets would be iron.
I don't think you can think of it as molten because on an atomic scale, it's not molten. It's still atomic, but it's being pressurized at such a force that.
No, but I mean after it cools a bit, like if you just become like a planet is forming.
Mhm.
Like imagine, all the bits of dust that are floating around the cloud of the explosion or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
like
and they just sort of
like
use
Saturn and its
static
rings.
electricity
like
to sort
like
of.
Saturn and its rings, for instance, because that's all dust. So like orbiting the planet that hasn't settled yet
Isn't it
or
ice
formed
cubes
into.
and stuff? I feel like
There's all different There's all different layers. There's all different layers.
look at Earth, right? Like think of the rockier planets out to Mars before you go to the gas giants. They're all
Yeah.
like molten rock that have sort of it starts off as little
They're
dust
rocky
particles and little
planets.
pebbles,
Yeah.
and they use static electricity to get together like that, right?
Yes.
Like the sound effect on the ESC microphone,
And
and then
the bigger
eventually, as they're
they
bigger,
get,
they can just create, because apparently two softballs 1 meter apart in space, right, will take 3 days to just fall into each other's gravity wells.
yeah.
That gives you a nice feel for how
I don't know
strong
whether I'm telling the truth or not, but apparently you can weld metals in space without welding equipment. Because of the temperature fluctuation, you can just put metals together and they can fuse.
Damn, you'd want that spacesuit to be nice and heavy duty, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so
We were talking about this
might
last
be talking
time.
out my ass, but I remember
250
hearing
degrees on one side and negative 250
certain
on the other side.
certain metals I think can fuse in the vacuum of space without the use of like welding them together. So that could also be a massive part of planets forming, because obviously there's ore inside rock, metals, and that could be a big part of
You would think that 250 degrees Celsius would be enough to melt glass, wouldn't you? But aren't the windows
No, I
on
don't think
space
so.
shuttles?
I think it's over 1,000 degrees you need for that. Because
right.
it kills.
So entering back into the atmosphere.
Yeah, to melt. I think it's. I don't know the number, but it's much higher than 250 degrees for sure. Because you can put glass in an oven, and that goes to 350 degrees.
Yeah, because
No,
absolute zero is negative.
It has to be
200.
over 1,000.
So we're living our us as organisms. We're living on the cold end of the thermal spectrum, because we're not that far. We're not that far away from negative 273, which is absolute zero, right? But we could still go millions of kilometers. No, but I'm just saying that the minimum temperature that exists is 0 Kelvin.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're very close to that, right? We could go for a walk around in Russia where it gets to negative 40 or negative 60.
We're closer to that than the hottest temperature.
Now imagine the hottest temperature ever recorded would be millions of degrees.
Yeah.
So when it's not like we're going out there at 1.8 billion degrees, and it's a long way to go back to the freezing cold end.
So when it gets
It's so
45
cold.
degrees on
We're
a hot
basically-
day, it's actually really, really cold in terms of the universe, and we're just little pussies.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's very right. But you know what? You're still in a kitchen every day handling stuff that's 350 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. If you do it for short times, it doesn't burn you. You just got to learn how long.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but isn't it interesting though? Because you think because 250 degrees Celsius is basically wasn't it like close to the temperature of space? What do we look up? I looked it up the other day. What's the temperature of space? Google has an answer immediately.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
going to
do
look
it.
it up. Temperature of space, negative 270 degrees Celsius. Negative 270.42, which is
It's
2.73
extremely cold.
degrees Kelvin.
What's absolute zero? It's like 400.
Well, I thought it was negative 273 degrees Celsius, which is 0 degrees Kelvin, but I think it might
it's
have a
more than
point
that.
something.
Yeah, I think. Oh, okay. I thought it was like in the minus 400s.
Well, add this together. What's what's negative 270.42 Celsius minus Jesus point
I was going to do it in my
2.
fucking head.
2.73? Well, it's like it's close enough to negative 273 degrees Celsius. That's so.
Alright.
So the temperature of space it says here is negative 270.42.
Yeah,
of
but
space.
didn't we work out that you need a medium to have the temperature? So in a
But
vacuum,
everything
with
is
just the
medium.
heat blowing through, it mentally doesn't make sense. But
No, I'm saying
there's
if you
no-
took anything you cook, what would you could you cook anything at negative? Do you cook anything? Oh, sorry, I'm saying negative 270. That's right. It's freezing.
that's absolute zero. Yeah, but
Fucking
if there's
cold.
if you're in the line of sight of a star, and you have matter, then on the side that's pointed to the star, that's going to heat up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, because the sun is because that astronaut said that he was cooking on one side and freezing on the other.
Yeah,
The sun-facing side of the International Space Station, for example, can reach scalding hot temperature of about 121 degrees Celsius, while thermometers on the dark side can plunge to a biting negative 157.
we spoke about this on the last episode.
Yeah, I know, but this doesn't make
One of the
sense. If
last episodes.
space is, I don't get that readout.
No, it's mind-boggling because I think it's because the whole vacuum thing as well. Like, because there's no atmosphere. Because in the atmosphere heats up. There's all the little dust particles, and there's refraction. There's like the because we live on the ground, right?
Yeah, we're surrounded by the air. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but not just the air, but the ground heats up during the day. So the
Yeah.
sun hits the ground, it hits the concrete, it hits the walls, hits the buildings. It shines onto you here, this way, that way, that way.
Mm.
And it's just this massive stir up of heat that's just mixing up around us.
And think about the desert. It's freezing cold at night, but it's burning hot in the day.
Well, that's incredible. Oh,
Low humidity, maybe, and so the water in the atmosphere is
I think
negligible.
also because
and therefore it can't maintain it.
no clouds. I think that's a big thing. Even though, like on a clear night here, like near the coast, but I think the no clouds is a big thing.
Like things like it's like a doona. Things like a doona for the
No,
sky.
no, because because the heat gets refracted up and down off the clouds. So
What about once it's inside and it becomes cloudy after that?
basically in
hot
the
day?
desert, the heat just comes down and just gets absorbed straight into the sand. So there's no trees or anything to hold any kind of ambient temperature or anything like that. There's no shrubbery. It just goes straight into the sand, and the sand will absorb heat for probably 1 or 2 feet, and below that it'd be cold. If you're in the desert, you're fucked. You just dig the fuck down, and you'll find cold sand.
Okay. And so let me ask you this: so, if you're in the desert naked at night and it's fucking cold, do you reckon if you dig a little hole and just cover your shoulders and stuff with sand, that makes you warmer?
You'd want to put like material in between you and the sand, like not just to keep sand off you, but just to hold the layers of heat, because sand would be, and obviously there's no water in the desert, but Look, sand is a great insulator, and the heat would only come down a couple of feet. And you don't want to, like, you need to stick your head out. But if you dug a deep enough hole, you could put most of your body down there and cover yourself up, and you'd keep much cooler. You'd be compressed from the weight, but you'd probably keep cooler. And if you could have just a little shade just for your head, I don't know whether that'd be a better thing to do that.
Spit mixed with
rather
sand.
than-
Just make this little shelter.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then when it
man.
dries.
You know
Sand
what? I've never
doesn't
been in
act
this
like-
situation.
But do you reckon if it was freezing cold at night, though, do you reckon if you dug yourself? Well, Eskimos do it, don't they? They're in a very cold
Well, they do it
situation.
with ice. Yeah. They do it with ice. But the
But
whole
snow.
thing with the
Same.
well, no, they do it with ice because they've got to cut. They've got to cut it. They don't use the snow. They've got to brush off all the snow, and they got to cut the ice out. It's ice blocks. Or there's different versions. There's the ice block one where they cut it out with their little hacksaw things. That's the hardcore, like, traditional ones with the little openings, and they're like the guys are like carpenters with the snow. Like they're brushing it off like they're on a lathe and
Is
shit.
this present day? Is this present day?
Yeah, they can still do it. Well, some of the old, but I don't know. I've only seen documentaries, but yeah, it's amazing. You watch them do it, and they're like shaving off the snow, and they're getting all the angles perfect, so each block's going to have to be on a slightly different angle, and they've got to like shift out all the snow to make it all fit properly. But then once it's all set, it sets in, and it, like, the longer it stays. And if you're inside, actually the warm air from your breath makes it stronger because it sort of doesn't melt the snow on the inside, but it sort of starts compacting it. So it makes it like.
What's the deal with this, by the way? Just talking about heat of your breath.
Yeah.
If you blow on your hand like this,
Yeah.
it's cold air, right? But if you blow on your hand like this, it's hot air.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's all distance and like 'cause
It's pretty cold.
it's still hot if you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I gotcha. No, that's a stumper. I can't fully explain that, but it has to
It'll be
something
too much.
because the air that comes out has to be at your body temperature, right? Can't be hotter. Like, we're not dragons.
Or less. Because it's got. Like, it didn't go into your blood.
Or,
but-
okay, or less. And what I'm saying is, when you do it that other blowing method, it's coming out less hot because there's more tunnels of travel. Like you're pushing the air through, so there's like there must be some instant cooling down method in between the heat of the back of your throat and as the air comes out. Whereas when you open your mouth up and go, it's just like this. It's like straight vacuum, like it's unfiltered from the back of your throat.
If you do it quickly, I think it's colder because it hasn't had time to sit in your lungs and warm up.
No,
I wouldn't expect cigarette smoke breath to be warmer.
I reckon
Like, you just inhale
the air
fire
will heat up
in a way.
straight away. Yeah, maybe it doesn't have time to heat up. Yeah, that's interesting. Never thought about that.
So what are some interesting houses that humans have built throughout the years? Teepees, igloos. What else is there?
Oh, the other igloo, I was
Dugout.
going to tell you about the other survival igloo method, which I thought was really cool. But you need like really like puffy, so it needs to be a place that like the snow, it's snowed heaps, so it's like really deep snow, right? And that you walk through and it's like hard to walk, and you've got a shovel. So what you do is you shovel heaps of fucking snow like into this massive fucking like pile, like huge, because it's going to compress over a bit of time, and you need to leave it for like 5 or 6 hours. So you need to like shovel heaps of fucking snow into a big bowl, and then just because it's above the snow line and it's big, it starts to crack and compress, so it forms like a shell. And then, given enough time, you can dig into it from the side and make like a hole, like a burrow into it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. but you need to leave it for enough time, and it needs to be the right kind of snow. So basically, like, it's just snowed the night before. It snowed like a meter of snow, and you're lost out in the wilderness, and you're fucking, oh, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So you just make a big fucking pile of snow,
Yeah.
and then you go out looking for fire while that thing's compressing, and then you come back and you got to dig a little burrow into it just enough for you, and then that'll keep you warm.
Yeah. This would be an altitude on Earth situation, making the whole place cold, not when you're on a mountain. Otherwise, in 5 or 6 hours, you could significantly walk down the hill away from the snow.
Yeah, of course. No, this is a survival situation. I'm thinking more like if you're lost in snowy mountains or the Rocky, or even worse, the Rocky Mountains, or like in, Italy or the Himalayas or some shit like that. I don't know, like somewhere where you're like days away from where you got to be, but you're fucked, like that. And that'd be the only way to do it. You got to get out of the wind. You got to get out of the elements. Yeah.
Yeah, I was walking down Annapurna, a big mountain in Nepal, in the middle of the night. It was fucking freezing. We passed one place. It was all locked up for the night.
Yeah.
On the way down, because we didn't see anything for hours. And
who are you walking with?
A Sherpa, my Sherpa.
Oh, okay.
He saved my life like 6 times.
Yeah,
Plus,
wow.
You could see the green eyes following us in the darkness.
Just you and just 2 people.
Nighttime, nobody ever does it at night.
Yeah, right.
I just hadn't slept for 2 days, and I couldn't get to sleep, and I thought I was dying in the camp that was sort of, let's say, at 4,000 meters. Well, we had to go up to 5,116 or 5,416 meters, I think, was the peak. Okay. And then had a little bit of a hot chocolate or something. And they had a bit of a fireplace. Most people were refusing to waste wood on fire because they're just used to the cold, right? I'm like, fucking dying, right? I was getting pneumonia. I could feel it. And so through all this, and I felt, even though my eyeballs are hanging out of my head and I've got that whole kind of giant fucking claw in my brain from the fucking lack of sleep, I still thought, let's fucking do it. And at 2 p.m. or something, I said, can we go? He'd just been all the way over the mountain and come back with somebody.
Yeah, right.
It's a fucking Sherpa, right?
Yeah, motherfuckers.
So he came back. And I was, really unfit and everything. My knee was fucked as well. So we walked uphill, and the number of false peaks you see, because you can't see beyond the peak, and then you go, thank God we've made it. And then you look up, it's like, oh no, that was
another one.
Now I'm at the bottom of another mountain.
Yeah.
So you're like, let's sit down and relax. No, we have to go before darkness comes. Anyway, we arrived there as on the peak as the sun was setting. And so down this fucking dangerous, with death drops and the rock falls and shit happening.
Yeah.
And then that was scary shit. And he grabbed me just like we didn't have much light at all. The moon was behind dark clouds and stuff. But at least we were sort of mostly above the clouds.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
So
that's fucking insane.
It was dark. And that lights, like, you need to see, because
this dude was pulling you off fucking sheer cliffs,
and my knee was so fucked after I reached the top, and then because going down has more impact on your knee joints. Yeah. So at one point, like about 5 meters after walking down the whatever it was, 7 kilometer walk,
especially or whatever, after you've been walking up for ages, because you're reversing the polarity in your legs, and that first
and I heard it click
going down.
And I was hopping almost down the mountain for the next unknown amount of darkness.
You have to get down. You can't stay anywhere. Yeah.
And I know that snow leopard could smell the fear and death in my body.
Snow leopard.
Delicious little treat. It was a snow leopard. It was hunting us.
Are you serious?
And we walked down. Me with the injured leg. We saw the reflection in its green eyes when we had a bit of torch lamp battery left.
No way.
Fuck. And there were no signs.
If David Attenborough was there, man, he'd be like that. Film crews spend years looking for those motherfuckers.
Snow leopard. No, that's there are photos of it to advertise the trek.
Oh, okay. That's
This is the sort of kind of
the
creature that
endangered one.
might pass. I don't know if it's endangered, but it seemed pretty happy
Well, there's
up
lots
there.
of trackers. There's lots
There
of
there were
trackers, so
yaks.
they're
There were lots
not
of
very
yaks.
endangered anymore.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I think yaks though also live above a certain altitude. Just
Okay.
naturally, they prefer that air.
Yeah, right. It's nuts
We had
because
to
they don't.
acclimatize.
Oh, yaks are pretty hairy, yeah, like the
Yeah.
horsey hairy sort of all over
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like a skinny bison.
Try to remember what a bison looks like.
They're the big fat head ones.
Bison.
I think they're like cold as well.
Bison looks like a deadly animal. Seriously, it looks like a
They're
buffalo.
huge. They're like a big buffalo, bigger than that. I
No, well,
think.
yeah, they said that this bison has a gigantic like mane
head.
around its head in this picture with little
Right.
horns. Yeah, I'll show you. You see that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bison. Yeah.
So that's a bison, and then a yak. There. That's a kind of a groovy looking yak with some flares.
Yeah, that's kind of like bison-like.
Yeah, but the horns are much
This
bigger.
skinny
They
bison.
seem-
It's just fucking skinny bison. It's a bison that's been
and I
on
went
its
over
back
to sort
for
of
a while.
say hello to a little baby one. When
Look at that! Look at that fucking yak! That one on the
That's a
right.
huge
That one.
one.
Look at that thing. Put
That's
that
the
next
main
to a
one I saw.
bison.
Like
Oh.
that.
I want to see a fight between a yak and a bison.
You want to see a bear versus a crocodile? No, okay. Wait. But
Who would win?
that's what they used to do in the Roman times.
Yeah,
I just do copied something onto Skype or something. How am I not able to drag that into a new? Yeah, let's try this for a second. See if that works.
You're doing bison.
Just
yak,
images.
bison.
Yeah. Okay, so left side of the screen is the yak, and the right hand side of the screen is the bison. With his little birdie friends. Look at those dudes. I wouldn't
the
challenge
bison
one.
looks pretty sick. Yeah. Although there's a couple of yaks there that look pretty mean. Come.
Yeah. I was not afraid of them because we were passing them all the time.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
And then my Sherpa
Look
said,
at that
no,
one
no,
with the. Look
don't
at that.
to
Go
his
back
baby.
up. That big black and white one.
Yeah.
Look at that motherfucker. Has that one been fucking preened?
That's the poodle. We've got poodle yak. That one with the cool hairstyle. Like, yeah, man, like just chilling out, dude, in the mountains. Like, just give me
Bison
some
would kick
spiritual
his-
enlightenment.
Bison would kick his
Yeah.
ass. Yeah, Bison would kick his ass.
Fuck yeah, look at this guy. Fucking massive.
Yeah. No, the
Look at
Bison's
that
looking
dude.
at me.
Let's go through.
Look at his
fucked up.
face. It looks like a dinosaur. It looks like a triceratops.
Oh, he's licking his tongue. He's licking his nose. That's what it's. It's the underside of his tongue. I thought he had some
How's the
gigantic.
like the fanning out? You know those what are those dinosaurs? The triceratops. Is it with the fucking big head plate?
Yeah. Imagine if he headbutt you. Doesn't even need the horns.
No. Oh, their heads would be fucking crazy.
All right.
Crazy.
Yeah, well,
those
this-
guys, they ram each other and shit.
Okay.
Look at this. Look, he's running
I
through
agree
the
with-
snow. He's
I
gonna
agree
come
with
get
you.
you.
The bison's going to beat the yak. Now, I'm going to keep the bison on the screen here. And you've got to choose an animal that you think would beat the bison. As small an increment as possible. Don't just say fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Liger.
Choose some... Let's have a look. That's a weird combination, isn't it? Is that real?
Yep.
Is it really true? That thing is
Yep.
real.
Oh, that I don't think that thing you've got your arrow on is, but they can crossbreed lions and tigers, and they're big and they're scary. Look at them. Look at
Big,
it.
so big.
Yeah, and it's a cat. So you get a fit one. That looks
Look
like
at
a
the
fat one.
size of its head.
Yeah,
It would
No.
not have a problem versus a human, that's for sure. But he looks
Like-
kind of fat.
the bison's
Sorry.
scary, but that's a liger, man. Because the reason I said liger is because tigers are solo Like they can beat people. Like they hunt solo, but
Yeah.
lions hunt in packs, or the females do. So I want the liger, but the more tiger of the liger, and then that would beat the bison.
It's like a fat cat, but the size of its head was huge.
Because
Huge, man.
it just needs to get on its back and then reach around.
So
Look at
you
that
reckon?
one. Yeah, that one. You got your arrow one with its hair on the back and shit.
You
Yeah,
reckon he's
it'd
gonna?
just jump on. It'd jump on the back of it, and like use its big claws and just rip its fucking throat out. Because they're
that
lethal.
real?
Because cats go. Yeah, that's real, man. Cats go for jugular. Like they're smart about that. The bison will just try and headbutt the thing. The liger will take a couple of hits. It will jump on its back, fucking rip its get its big fucking thing out, start ripping it. I know the bison's got tough skin. It'll be a fight. It'll be a good fight. And then
Okay,
it's
I'm
got
gonna let the liger win. All right, so we'll keep the liger. Now pick up the next one. Who's gonna
who's
challenge the
going to be the
liger?
liger? Oh, it's got to be one animals that are alive today. Well, there's got to be an animal that'll beat it. It's got to be polar bear.
Nah, really? No way.
Yeah.
No way. The bear's gonna win.
Well, it'll be a good fight. It'd be bloody, but the bear's pretty
No.
fucking sick too, man.
No, I don't
Because
think
the
so.
bear's got human abilities. Like it's got like the opposable thumb thing going on. It can look at that.
Not necessary. I reckon you got cat claws, scratch, fucking throat
Yeah,
bite.
there's like
Bear's got no chance.
No, I know. I don't know about no chance.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, the
He hasn't
polar
eaten
bears
for a
always
while.
look that skinny one.
Yeah. I'd like to participate in the battle. Do you mind if I can quickly have a little fight? I want to impress my girlfriend. No, he's not getting it. He's not winning. That one is the healthiest looking one. I'm saying the baby, little teddy bear one. Not going to work.
All right, what
He's going to beat
about
the seal. But we're gonna keep the liger, the polar bear.
what about reticular python?
How do you spell it?
RETICUL.
Reticulated python.
Yeah.
No, liger's gonna beat that, right? How's that liger gonna lose to a snake?
Wait, there's more photos. Look at the biggest one.
There's a human in the picture that's pretty big.
Yeah. Oh, anaconda then.
It's only got maps and stuff. Ooh. Damn. He's already had a liger for breakfast, this guy.
Look, he's got a liger in him.
I eat ligers like you for breakfast.
But I don't know at the same time, like if the liger grabbed
Is
it by
that real?
Yeah, look at that. That's fucking.
Is that real?
Ginormous. I don't know. That doesn't look real. That one does on the right in the grass.
This one?
Oh, look at that with the one around the cow. The guy's hitting it. Holy shit!
I don't know if that's a real picture. Is that a guitar?
Yeah, that the picture of the guy looks fake.
That could be real.
Yeah, that looks real.
Girl has been superimposed.
Yeah. The cow one looks real though.
Yeah, the
But
cow
a
one
cow's
does look real.
a cow's not a liger.
You hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Holy shit, what's going on? What the fuck? something in it. Is it eating another snake? What the fuck is going on?
I think it's giving birth to a cow.
Is it a cow coming out of the snake?
Yeah, I think it pooed it out.
A cow just came out of the snake.
Giant anaconda snake throws out the cow it swallowed earlier.
What, it was too, like, big for it?
Maybe it's stored it in... Is that its mouth? Oh, that is its face, is it?
Is
That
the
would
snake
hurt.
in half now?
No.
Oh, it's trying to eat it again.
I don't think it has chewing teeth.
It just spat it out, didn't it? It was in there and it just spat it out.
Yeah, it's like... Actually,
So it
I've
was
got
too
something
big. The
caught in
cow
my
was
throat.
too big. The cow was too big for it.
I got something stuck in my throat.
Oh my god.
It's...
That's incredible. I got something stuck in my
Okay,
throat.
okay. So under certain circumstances, like if this liger was just chilling out, having a bit of a smoke, and that anaconda came up to him,
If it got it on the
liger-
face.
no,
If
just
it got
wrap
it on
around
the
his body
face.
like that cow, right? Like
Yeah,
if he was
well, that's
asleep.
right, yeah. It would asphyxiate it. Yeah.
But I don't think it would be very easy for this liger to kill that snake, except from just trying to shred it to pieces over a long period of time.
The only
Once
way it would do
with
it
a head.
is if it was lucky enough to bite its face and
So
grab
who
hold
wins?
of it. Well, the snake would still wrap around it. So if the snake happened to asphyxiate it while it was biting its face off, I don't know who would last the distance.
Oh my god, look at this. I was going to say the next animal could be like some sort of alligator or something. But
Yeah,
that's
but-
the anaconda with an
Nah,
alligator
but
in its
that's
mouth.
probably a small alligator. But a
Yeah.
crocodile, a big saltwater crocodile, would beat the liger. But they live in different worlds.
No, they don't.
Well, they cross over, but
Crocodile,
in the water,
alligators. What's in Africa? What type of crocodile alligator type thing is there over there?
crocodile in Africa is
Let me
just
get
as
a drink.
bad, just as
One
bad as the crocodile. Yep.
Okay, so who won the battle between these two, liger versus anaconda?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the anaconda might win that one. Well,
All right.
it would depend on the size of both.
I'm going to say
age of
anaconda.
both.
So I'm going to leave anaconda on the screen.
All right.
You're going to pick another one. Who's going to challenge this anaconda?
Dartmouth frog.
Dartmouth.
No, not Dartmouth frog. What's the dart frog? The one from the really poisonous one.
I don't know.
Dart frog. Dart frog.
Dartmouth for Clark.
No, dart frog. Do dart frog.
That little thing.
Yeah, that one.
I love how he's picking this versus the snake.
Yeah.
Poison dart frog. Poison dart frog is the common name of a group of frogs in the family Dendrobatidae, which are native to tropical Central and South America. These species are diurnal. What does that mean? Both awake during night and daytime,
Yeah.
and often have brightly colored bodies. This bright coloration is correlated with the toxicity of the species, making them aposematic.
Aposematic? I don't know what that means.
So you reckon
Deadly.
this little frog? I'm just going to take your word for it. That if that snake,
Well, I'm just
It's-
guessing. I'm just
this
like
frog-
because I think that the frog is really, really, really fucking poisonous.
do you reckon if the snake first licks the frog, that's the only way
Yeah.
it will happen without the frog dying, right? Because the frog is not going to survive the guts of that snake. Or do you think he's going to hop happily out the asshole of the snake, going, "No, what else?" am I
I'm
gonna
not
do
sure
today?"
how it's going to go down. I'm like I'm hoping the frog got a little bit of smarts about it.
Which one would you choose? Which frog? versus that.
I think the red one. Oh, is there a red one?
Yeah, I saw something strawberry one.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are pretty amazing. Look at that. Is that a little baby one on its back? Who can see this one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the tadpoles just sort of slithering around. He's carrying them.
Yeah, well.
Sorry.
He's yellow and blue. She.
Yeah. Gosh,
I can
what a
actually-
species. Imagine being that thing. See, that's what I think God does, right? If there's God or gods, he says, you know what? I want to be an anaconda, like torturing a poor little calf right now. He goes, click. And he's one of those things. Or if he's so bored that he's sick of just being one thing at a time, he's everything all at once. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Yeah. But it's like having Tim
God
Tams
is everywhere.
and CCs.
That's what he says in the book.
I know, but he would choose to focus his mind on certain things at a time or whatever, right?
Okay.
He's not really everywhere. Otherwise, he would have known
Wouldn't
that
he
they're
be-
eating the apple.
Wouldn't he be able to multitask and focus on everything?
I think he gets distracted easily. He's like rubbing one out over Eve's tits, and then all of a sudden, boom! Hey, who ate the apple? Whatever, right?
Do you reckon he made Eve out of porn?
Well, there was nothing to jerk off to in those days. There were probably some animals that might have had some genitalia that would be similar to what he envisaged to work
Pigs?
on the monkeys. Yeah, pigs. Horse look pretty good, much like a female without a tail. With a tail. Less hooves, I think. Give them more monkey-type feet.
Clippity clop, clippity clop.
And in 3,000
So, what do you
years now-
reckon? Dart frog versus anaconda?
Oh, I don't know. How is it going to attack? Does it just get eaten? And then...
It's
How is that an
assuming
attack
that
move?
Dart frog. Okay, God's in the dart frog.
What was that?
God
God
is
is
in
in-
the dart frog.
Yeah, he probably is. If he's controlling the dart frog, do you reckon he'd know what to do versus that anaconda?
Because the whole thing is the anaconda doesn't even know it's there, right? So the anaconda's sitting there waiting for like a proper prey, and because the anaconda would let like other stuff jump on it, like dart frogs,
Yeah.
for instance.
But I don't reckon
Sure.
most people would, like little birds, would just decide, you know what, here's a nice place to perch. I could choose that rock over there, but no, this is more fun. I'm going to go for a little ride down the river
What about
on this.
birds on the bison? What about the birds on the bison?
Yeah, but the bison's too slow to go. It's like too hard. Can't even get the flies off my asshole.
Yeah, but I don't know. I reckon the anaconda wouldn't be bothered by a little frog. Look at the size of the. Go up a bit. Go back up a bit. Look at the thing. Yeah, there, the finger with the frog.
On the finger, yeah.
Why has that guy actually got a deadly frog on his finger?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all?
They bite,
thought
you
they,
can make
like-
you poisoned?
I thought it was just on the skin. I thought they fucking fuck you up. Maybe it's on the
Tadpoles are
back.
incredibly intriguing animals, in addition to possessing toxins.
Okay, toxins. Oh, that's why we have antitoxins.
See, he's not having any trouble holding them. Look, he's got one with a tail there, still half.
I don't believe that that's a. Man,
So, okay,
That's
in that
shit.
case, if you can hold a freaking poisonous dart frog on your finger without being harmed,
the anaconda's.
I
gonna
reckon
win.
the anaconda's going to win. I'm going to
Okay.
pick one. I'm going to say T-Rex. No. Not
No,
allowed
it's
to do
got to
that.
be a living animal.
Okay. Well,
Oh.
the shark. I'm just looking at the shark right now. I'm thinking, okay, if
Yeah,
a
but
shark is in the water with an anaconda, which is also a sea or water-dwelling creature,
It's river. It's never in
I'm
the
picking.
ocean.
I'm picking. Okay, I'll pick a
Okay,
great.
bull shark. Okay, maybe bull shark for
What's a
river.
bull shark?
That's a mean shark. That's a good one to pick in terms of sharks.
You always straight to the great white.
No. Bull sharks are more aggressive than like great whites.
Say one shark versus an anaconda. Okay, he takes a bite out of the anaconda, blood starts leaking everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Even if his mates don't turn up to start stealing his meal from him, he'll go, "Yum, that's delicious. I want some more blood." And
It would depend on
where.
where. It'd depend on the situation.
And there's no way a snake is going to outswim a shark.
No, it wouldn't.
Like, what's the fastest swimming creature in the world?
Tuna. No, sailfish.
We've got to allow for escape, don't we? In this challenge, or is it just fight to the death and that's it?
No, it's got to be. It's got to be like
Escape isn't
They
victory.
have
Is
to
it?
meet. They have to meet on like terms that would be natural, and a bull shark could meet one of these guys in a river for sure. But
That's the
it'd be a
size of one.
murky. It'd be a murky. Oh, bull sharks are no. The human one, that's bullshit. No. Bull sharks are huge, man. Don't worry about that. They're the bull sharks have probably killed more people than great white sharks.
Oh,
For sure.
really?
Oh, for sure. For sure. They're the meanest. They're the meanest of all sharks.
Look how
And
low.
they can
They don't even have
adapt.
a bottom lip.
Yeah, they can adapt to fresh water as well, which makes them even more scary.
Oh, can they? They don't care if it's
they,
hot water or not.
they can swim up rivers, man. Like there's been shark attacks in fucking rivers where like they're almost fresh water, and people think like people have been swimming across this river like every day for like 20 years, and then bang, one day they've been like taken out by a fucking huge bull shark.
If we ever decide to put human into this equation, they've got to be they can't be armed, can they? Otherwise, you give credit to the gun or the like bomb or whatever you want to fight with.
Yeah,
It's got to
where
be
do you stop?
barehanded. So there's no way
Yeah,
a
it's
human
got to
is
be
going to be
no, a human
either
can't do it. No,
of
a
these
human
two
can't do it with the hand. Oh,
with bare
well, I mean,
hands.
no, not with an anaconda that size. Although
Even
there's all
if
those
you
steps
bit
around it.
as hard as you could into any part of it, it's not going to give a shit.
How would you?
Used to
No,
being
you'd
special.
need a weapon. You'd need a weapon.
There's no way
You'd need a weapon.
with a shark.
Yeah.
There's no chance with a snake.
A
Do you
shark
reckon you could outrun? Could you outrun an anaconda?
in water, probably not. On land, I've got no idea. I don't know how fast they can go on land. I don't
Also-
reckon they could go fast on land.
Also, do you believe this picture is real?
I
you
don't
believe
believe
that's-
so. No, I don't
These
believe it.
bullshit
I don't
picture.
believe any of those people are there.
Well, I mean, the only reason they'd be there is because this thing's dead, right?
I don't know. Dead and all
As you
wrapped.
can see,
What did it just say? It's killed 250 something people.
I don't even know if it's real.
It looks all
It's hard
fake.
to know. Well, it's not footage, is it?
No, it's a photo. They're panning up.
Footage
They're
makes
panning
you-
up on photo.
Yeah. It's not proof. Video is much more likely to be proof because it's hard to doctor that.
Yeah, that was just a photo. That was the same photo. They just panned up on
It's
it.
always the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about as big as it would get. And you can tell from the blades
Yeah,
of grass.
that looks real. That looks real. Yeah.
That's a scary shit thing. That other one is no way.
That's still scary. Yeah.
And this one here, you reckon that's another bullshit picture?
Yep. I reckon that's bullshit. Yep. Big time. I reckon that's big time. I reckon that's like morphed into. That's two snakes morphed into one. They've like added somehow like.
And the head being as big as his torso.
It looks. Yeah. No. Sorry.
And that's definitely another bullshit picture. This lighting is all wrong.
That's bullshit picture.
That's
Yeah.
another bullshit picture. What about this picture? A lion.
Well, the guy trying to hit the snake, I like it. Oh, lion, fuck. Oh, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Do you believe that's real?
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Why anacondas may be the most powerful creatures on Earth? Do you reckon that's true?
Don't know. It's hard to say.
If you're asleep, I mean, wouldn't you? If you're a snake that size, wouldn't you target sleeping large creatures? You only have to eat once a year.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Like, you know what?
I want to go
get
hunting
that,
all the
to
time.
get that big. To get that big, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But him
He's done it
versus
before.
that
done it
shark.
before.
The shark's going to win. Okay. There's no question.
Um,
No, he's not going to go underwater and strangle
Yeah.
a freaking shark.
you can't strangle a shark. Yeah.
That's why the sharks evolved not to be strangleable. Why are you going to grab it around its throat?
No, but just the pressure, like, because those anacondas will be fucking strong, man. Like, the more wraparounds they get, and because they can do it quick, there'd be a lot of pressure. You know what?
They always seem to do it slow. What do you mean? What do you mean quick? They're always doing it slowly. It's like slow motion, and then as soon as they exhale, they squeeze a bit harder.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a. You know what? It's incredibly difficult to mentally think about an anaconda fighting a shark. Like the whole process, like it's not like they're gonna juke up and like the shark, like the
They don't
snake will be.
even they don't even bite. They just sort of open their
They
mouth
can no,
on
they do
something's
bite.
head,
No, they do bite. They
but
do.
not chomp. They can't chomp. They just use their
No,
teeth
it's
as
not
sort of something
poison.
to.
It's just subdue, and it'd be a very powerful bite. A snake that big, fucking hurt the fuck, mate. You serious? Fuck.
I don't know. I thought the teeth on a See, I can imagine snakes would bite, but I think more like with a
All snakes bite.
python.
All snakes bite. Even
No, but
all the
like
non-poisonous
like a
bait.
python would be more like open its mouth on something that it's strangled, then sort of open its mouth, use its teeth to pincer the thing into its throat so that it goes and gets eaten by the acid in its stomach.
Sure, that's later, but they use their mouth as a weapon as well to start the attack and during the attack.
Then why does everyone say it's much safer to handle a python than a snake?
Because it's not poisonous.
Is that the only
They'll still
reason?
bite you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that all of those snakes have them. That just they're less timid. It's like saying a great. It's like a great, a fucking grey nurse shark. It's not gonna fucking eat you, but they can bite you. They're just probably not going to. Look
Let's
up grey
let,
nurse shark. They look deadly.
okay. I'm going to leave this big shark on the screen
Yeah,
because I
bull
think
shark. He's
it's going
mean, but look
to
up
be
grey nurse shark. They look mean too, but they're not deadly apparently.
to
But they
humans.
can still fucking bite you. Same thing.
Very streamlined. They're very similar looking creatures.
Yeah, but the grey nurse shark is like complete. Like it's a non. Like they do not attack people. But look at it.
Yeah, it's not a dolphin.
No, they hang around. You know where Mum swims?
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was actually a great. Speaking of that, you know, about 3 months ago when
Yeah, I
Mum
saw on the news.
swims, that guy got bitten by a shark. I think it was actually a grey nurse shark, but they reckon it was fully just because it was like dark at the time, like it was an early in the morning, and that like it just would have thought it was a fish or something, you know.
Look at the way the teeth come out of the face like that.
Yeah, they're big teeth. You don't want to get bitten by it, really, do you?
No. It's like the mouth
Looks
from
like that was.
Alien.
Is that a grandpa fucking grey nurse
Oh, yeah,
shark?
it's like
What's a fucking
I keep my teeth in a job inside the bed.
yeah?
No, okay, well, the bull shark's going to beat that. So,
Bull
what
shark is the meanest motherfucker, man. I
is the
reckon a bull
meanest?
shark would beat everyone.
No, wait, we haven't even started with crocodiles.
Yeah, Australian saltwater crocodiles.
Which is better out of a crocodile and alligator?
Crocodile.
Is
Australian
bigger.
saltwater crocodile is the meanest of those species in the world.
Aussie crocs traveling to Timor.
They found those fuckers like 50, 60 kilometers out to sea. They swim out. So they could easily come in contact with all those sharks.
The shark's faster, surely. See, look how big its teeth are. It's only got like 30 teeth. He's got
I
like
reckon
100.
I'm so scared of those animals. I'm way more scared. I would much rather be thrown into the water with a great white shark than one of them for sure. Like
Really?
it wouldn't take me 1 second to decide.
So this crocodile is definitely going to chase you.
Well, the thing is with crocodiles is that they don't necessarily eat you if they're just hungry. They will kill you and eat
Store
you later.
you.
They store you. Whereas sharks only eat you if they're really hungry, and they don't want to eat humans. Like we're not their favorite prey. So for something that is cruising along and would prefer to eat a seal, and you're sitting there,
Mm.
like as long as you're not panicking, like basically because they can smell fear, all that sort of shit. And I don't know what I would feel if I saw a great white shark in the water. To be honest, like I'd probably fucking freak out. But
Hug the
apparently,
dolphin.
like I've seen videos, man, of dudes going down in like snorkel gear with several great white sharks around them, like in South Africa, and it was this French dude. It was this French diver. I can't remember his fucking name. And he like meditated on the boat for like an hour before he did it, like to get his heart rate down and shit. And then he'd just slide into the water and just go down, and he'd be
Frolic.
these sharks would be circling him, man. Like a shit, you know, like 3 or 4 huge great white sharks. Any one of them could eat him so quickly, and every now and then one of them would come in towards him, and he had this little stick, and he'd just stick it in the nose, and it'd just swim off and go back into the circle. And that's it,
Keep
man.
circling
his
him.
trick.
They just circled him.
He had
They
no
didn't
cage,
molly?
no nothing. All he had was a stick. He had a little stick, and he
how
just
did he
poked
lure
him on the
them?
nose.
Did he
How did
fill
he lure them?
Did he
was
fill
just
the
a
water with
person.
blood?
No. They were just there.
Is that their local hangout?
He knew where to find them. Yeah.
Okay, the bull
they-
shark's going to beat the crocodile. Yes, sorry, go on.
You reckon the bull shark will beat the crocodile?
Don't you?
I don't know. I'm a bit either or on that. Like, I reckon the crocodile's pretty fucking hardcore. I know the shark is too. I'd prefer the shark. I'd prefer to be in the water with the shark than the crocodile.
Yeah, as a human, but these two against each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I reckon the shark's going to win. Just imagine him grabbing any part of that body, that delicious lizard.
Yeah, but
Thing.
they're very tough. Like they're like even the shark teeth might not go fully through it. You know, like it'll just pinch it a little bit. It might not even fully go through it. They got full armor on them, man. They're like armored,
Like leather. Is it like 3 layers of leather sort of thing?
more than that. Well, I don't know how many layers, but it's like they got all the plates on them and shit. Like, look at it, you can see it.
I don't know how tough that would be versus teeth like that.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
he would grab the edge of it and start shaking, right?
Yeah, but if the croc grabbed it like a fin and it starts in a barrel roll or something, like
It's not
I
going to
reckon
drown a shark.
I reckon the croc could sustain way more damage than the shark could.
I reckon most things that crocodiles eat need air. That's why crocodiles
Well,
are
a
sheep.
crocodile. Yeah. I get what you mean, but this fight would be over within that period of time anyway. Like,
Okay, what would be the attack roll purpose? Like that's the main move for the crocodile. The attack roll, the death roll. He's not gonna.
yeah, but
the shark
if the
doesn't care.
shark, if say the shark grabbed like the paw or something of the leg or the back of the tail of the croc,
Yeah.
and then grabbed it and started shaking, and then the croc at the same time went around and grabbed a piece of
Fin.
the shark and then proceeded to start its
Yeah, you're
barrel
right.
roll. That would depend on the size of each animal as to who would overpower the other one.
We're gonna make them same age at least, like in terms of fully grown. Just
They'd have to be the pinnacle of each.
pinnacle. Yeah. If you grabbed a fin off that shark, it would just be swimming around in circles for the rest of its life, right?
That's right. Yeah, whereas
the
I reckon
crocodile,
you
the
could damage
3
the
legs.
crocodile. You could damage the crocodile anywhere, and it wouldn't be in as bad a shape because its whole swimming style is just from this big flipping tail, whereas
Yeah.
the shark's more like a fighter jet. Like it needs all its little wings and shit to.
I reckon it could lose a couple of these dorsal fins.
It
the back
could,
ones.
and it would perform a little bit, but I reckon it would very quickly lose maneuverability.
What are the back fins called? Are they which one's the dorsal?
Dorsal's the top, I think.
The main wings, their arms.
The top two. The dorsal fins are the top ones. The ones that run along the back.
The one on the top. That's the dorsal, is it?
And the back one as well. I think the dorsal fins are all the ones that run along the back.
And what are the wings, the arms ones called?
I'm not sure.
Look up dorsal
Wings?
fin.
Yeah, look up that. Yeah.
Pectoral fins are the side ones.
No, I like pecs, like on humans have them.
But it doesn't say the word dorsal anywhere on here, so I'm not sure if that's going to be coming all the
Yeah, right.
fins.
As far I just seem to remember the dorsal fins were the all the ones that run down the back, except for the back one, like the twin one at the back. So on that
Oh, yeah, you're right. It says dorsal in this picture. It's top.
yeah, and the back
What
one
type
I
of
think
shark is this? Is it the... Oh, that is a bull shark.
that's a bull
Says here.
shark. Yeah.
Pectoral fins are the ones on the side. The one on the
Right.
top, which is sort of like rudder. I don't know. It's
Oh,
like...
apex dorsal, first dorsal. Yeah, so all the ones along the back are dorsal fins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And different sharks and
The back
fish
ones are
have different
caudal.
amounts.
Caudal
Like some
fins on the
fish,
back.
yeah, some fish have several.
Listen to this. Tips of pectoral, pelvic, and anal fins. Dusky.
Anal fins? What's an
Anal
anal
fins.
fin?
I don't know. It steers the shit. I don't know what's going on with those.
Maybe it's the fin to protect the anus. Does it like make a little water tunnel?
It's like I fart in your general direction. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, look at the bottom of that shark. He's got heaps of fins down there.
yeah, way too many fins. Doesn't need that many fins. That's another little fish, I think. He's like, yep, I'm your mate.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
your buddy.
little helper.
Protect me. He was a
Yeah.
tuna. He befriended. Stick by me, kid. I'll show you what's what in the ocean. Yeah, screw you guys. I'm sick of being in a school. I don't want to go around in circles and make arrows and shit.
So yeah, all right. So bull shark versus
What?
crocodile. Ooh.
Camel. We're giving
Camel.
it to the bull shark. There's no way a camel's going to win. Camel is a prey animal.
Well,
Surely.
with a camel.
Yeah, camels wouldn't stand a chance against anything. It's like a cow. Well, unless the cow's got horns.
All right, I got it. Giant
Okay.
squid.
Yeah, good point. Scary shit. They're from the deep ocean.
Yeah. And it just so happened to be up there somewhere.
That's not that giant.
No, that's
I
not
think
giant.
they're more giant.
We probably won't
Oh,
have.
that's not
video.
real. That's
Yeah.
not real. No
We
photos.
probably won't have proper video footage of the giant squid we're thinking
It's
of.
too much
but
bullshit. It's like the anaconda.
Yeah.
They've got heaps
Look
of
at that!
bull-
Look at that one with the boat.
Yeah. That's in reality. That's a little fish pond.
Yeah.
That's more likely.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
there's
that's probably accurate. Sperm whale with giant squid. They've got scratches all over their faces.
Wow, yeah. I've heard sperm whales are fucking nuts. Sperm whale would kick a fucking bull shark.
Right?
Yeah,
Do
there
they
you go.
fight?
You know what? Fuck that. Sperm whale is the money. Sperm whale would kick ass on a bull shark.
So,
Forgot about that motherfucker. Oh, and a fucking
orca.
killer whale. Orca.
Look at his little
course.
mouth. I get the feeling that this bull shark
Yeah, but I
could
think
just sort of
sperm-
grab him by the mouth.
Ah, man. Nah.
Look at the size of the sperm whale.
It's huge, man. And they're fast. And they like headbutt the fuck out of it.
Yeah, he looks like a headbutter, doesn't he?
Oh, man. Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
baby,
yeah.
the headbutt. The baby.
The sperm whale would beat the bull shark.
Let's look at this picture. I believe that's real.
Yeah, that looks crazy. What the fuck? Just washed up.
Look at the mouth. See, normally I'm used to seeing like a blue whale with a baleen kind of.
Yeah, it's a weird mouth, isn't it? It's like a
It's very neat. The teeth are neat, aren't they?
yeah, and it's like a marlin mouth. But look at the head. The front was like just like.
See, I reckon
bone.
you could probably just snap that bottom jaw off. That doesn't look very
It's
strong.
so big, man. Like it'd be so strong. That'd be like
Look at
like
scratch
someone.
marks. That's from the squid, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're
must
so
be.
busy fighting squid down there. What the fuck are the squid thinking?
Well,
What
they'd
kind-
be eating squid. They'd be down there eating them.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they'd be down there like going through the middle of like swarms of squid just to eat them. Like not giving a fuck about getting scratched.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they'd just be going yum 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 yum.
This is what's going on inside its skull, right? Okay,
This is bone.
blowhole, the top. No,
Yep.
that's the skeleton ends there, right? All of this is junk melon. What?
What the fuck is
Longitudinal
junk?
muscles, spermaceti organ. What the fuck? Cage,
Spermaceti
spine.
organs.
See, you look at the skeleton here, and you think, okay, well, it's going to be shaped like that. Its head's going to end around there, but it doesn't. It goes all the way up to there. The eye is there, inside the
I
skull.
can't read that. So
Okay,
so
I'll
so
try
what
and
are
make it
those
bigger.
3 things? Sorry, in the head that's not the skeleton.
How do I make this bigger?
Okay.
Can you read that?
Sort. No, not really. Oh no, it's gone to another screen. Sperm whales' clicks can deafen divers.
Oh, they do eat squid. You're right.
Yeah. So they'd find the big squid swarms and just go through the middle of them and just go yum 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 yum.
Colossal squid, bigger than giant squid.
What? No such thing. 6,000 feet. What's that in meters? 2.5 meters.
Biosonar.
What's 6,000 feet?
2,000
kilometers?
meters, 2 kilometers.
2 kilometers? Yeah.
Sperm whale. I still think that it's going to be a hard fight. I don't think either one of those guys are going to die. If you challenge the bull shark to the sperm whale,
Oh, I think the pressure, the size of the sperm whale, it'd be so much bigger. It'd like the force of it in the water, like would just supersede it. It'd be like,
look at the elephant.
yeah, It'd just like because a bull shark would be smaller than an elephant.
Oh yeah,
Like it'd just like the sperm whale would just be able to like
Whack it with a
smack
tail.
it around, like, just smack it around like a little bitch, you know.
but it would just not get hit. It would move out of the way. But I don't think this bull whale is going to.
Wouldn't, man.
Bull
I don't
shark is
think
going to eat.
I don't think you can. No, man. I reckon it would just beat the shit out of it.
There's no way the maneuverability of that giant thing. It's not going to be able to. See, I reckon a squid might
Look
be
up
a
a
bit
video.
slower.
Look up video. Look up video of a sperm whale. Watch it in
Sperm whale
action.
or bull shark.
Sperm whale.
Okay,
We know what a shark is. A shark's fucking nimble and they're quite fast. I know what you're saying. But I also think that a sperm whale is like, it's like a massive thing. Like it's like it'd be swatting at it, you know? Like, yeah, the shark would be nimble and
with the tail.
running around it a little bit. Oh man, yeah, but the pressure that it would produce if it hit, it'd just be like Hulk Hogan fucking doing haymakers, you know? Like, and if one of them hit it, it'd just fuck it.
Sperm whales spend most of their days diving far underwater, where they hunt for squid.
Probably won't get a good
Every 45 minutes or so,
Yeah.
breathe and bask in the sun.
But you know,
There's no footage of an attack.
I mean, they go down and catch squid, you know, like that. They'd be
Yeah,
nimble,
we haven't got
man.
cameras
They'd be,
down there.
you know what? They would be. I reckon they'd sort shit out. They're like the fucking warriors of the ocean. And orcas, man, orcas and killer whales. Come on, I reckon they'd beat the shark. Big up for the mammals, man. Come on.
Okay, I think that an orca will beat a bull shark because I
Yeah.
think it's designed to hunt sharks or seals or something. But I
It's
reckon
designed to hunt seals, but
it looks
it's
more
big enough.
maneuverable than the bull shark. I reckon the bull shark. See, I
Oh,
can't even think of
the-
the attack between the bull
It's
shark
hard
and
to
the shark.
It's hard to think about it. Yeah.
The bull
But-
shark isn't going to attack the whale.
But an
because it's just
orca
too big.
has brains. It's smart
Yeah.
animal as well.
And they're fast.
And they're fast and maneuverable and tough as shit. And
I'm just going to write versus. And they act in groups, don't they? They come along and circle.
They gang up. Yeah, well, yeah, that's their hunting profile, to use less energy. Like dolphins.
Well, you don't need the imagination here. The picture shows us. I don't know if it's real footage or anything.
Yeah, right. Fucking hell.
It was a normal Monday morning.
We had the cage down and we'd seen 3 or 4 sharks.
Standing on the back of the boat.
Australian accent?
Orcas.
Someone comes running in and says there's an orca outside, there's orcas outside.
I've been to sea for over 20 years and I've never seen
South Australia.
anything like that.
Yeah.
It's that in the middle of the orcas. It's a different shaped fin.
Hang on a second, something's so odd here. They must have a shark.
This answers the question.
Yeah. North Neptune.
You know it?
Yeah. Oh, I've not been there, but I've bought seafood from there.
We were shark cage diving and we had the cage down and we'd seen 3 or 4 sharks. So there was action happening, and then in the distance we could see these huge fins. You recognised instantly that's orcas. Whatever they were doing kept them on track. They kept coming closer to us. They were just really on a mission. They were hunting.
Orcas tend to have a social hierarchy, usually run by the female, so that we could see one mature female and we could see two younger orcas as well. And then we saw 2 or 3 more orcas. We think in total there are about 6. It was very interesting because there were a few divers in the cave. A diver actually stood up and he said, are you guys using an orca soundtrack or a whale soundtrack in order to attract the sharks? And we went, no, there are actually orcas, in the distance. So everyone was kind of watching them in the cage and you could hear them as clear as day. They weren't passing through, they weren't passing by the Neptunes. They were in the same place and they were hunting together.
Everyone's on the deck were just looking, and what's that in the middle of the orcas? It's a different shaped fin.
They were staying in the same place. They weren't really moving around much. And then that's when we thought, hang on a second, something's a bit odd here. They must have a shark. And they stuck about for over an hour or so. Their movements were very, very particular. They were herding.
Yeah, I just skimmed through it. They're not going to show us. They didn't get footage of it.
Yeah.
They need more like drone footage and stuff.
Well, as a gang,
But underwater.
of course, they're going to beat the shark. But one-on-one,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's good point.
Yeah.
Because normally they'd be hunting seals, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a pack of dogs versus like one lion,
Yeah,
Like,
that's not
it's like-
fair.
Yeah.
A dog versus a lion, the lion's going to win.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same in that
wolves.
situation though. Like, I think an orca's
Check this out.
bigger.
The
It's bigger than
entire
the shark.
question we're asking: great white shark versus saltwater crocodile. Who will win this battle?
Oh, fucking do it! How long is it?
Before I
10
start
minutes.
the video, I want to thank you for the 20,000 subscribers. And I would ask if you have any ideas for the next videos, write them in the
10
comments.
minutes.
Thank you very much. Who would win in a fight? A great white shark or a saltwater crocodile?
This is it. This is what we're fucking talking about.
Shark is a cartilaginous fish that has caused fear
Cartilaginous fish.
many years. It is considered one of the biggest predators and the fiercest.
I reckon this is like really
Imagination.
sign.
Crocodiles are large reptiles found in tropical regions of Africa, Asia, the Americas, and Australia. They are members of the order Crocodilia, which also includes caimans, gharials, and alligators. Earth's largest living crocodilian, and some say the animal most likely to eat a human, is the saltwater crocodile.
Yes.
Description.
Nasty.
The body of the white shark is robust and fusiform, about 13 to 22 feet in length, but the average is 9.
What's that? 15 meters? No, less.
Yeah, less. Yeah. What's
So-
that? Also, 22 feet is
7 meters.
like
7 meters.
Yeah.
19 feet. Its weight is between 6,600 pounds.
Wait. Can you see in your room if the wall in front of you is right in front of your face right now,
Yeah.
like your laptop screen? How far back is 7 meters from where you are? In that room you're in?
The park.
No, behind you. Going back behind you.
Oh, behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, probably the front door.
Yeah, that's a big animal. You'd easily fit 10 Peters in there, in their belly.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not nice. No, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there.
7,500 pounds. Adult females reach dimensions greater than males, which are usually 6.5 feet smaller. It has a narrow, pointed snout, 2 pectoral fins, and a first dorsal fin with a triangle shape. The caudal fin is crescent-shaped, and its upper and lower lobe are long and of very similar size, almost symmetrical. The mouth measures 3 to 4 feet wide.
Blah, 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 blah.
Onyx eyes and
Fight. Oh, there's a nostril where it smells from. Here we have some eyes. This is where the shark sees from.
Is to their nose, and this is particularly prominent
Nose is smelling,
and look for prey.
looking and smelling and looking.
Feel threatened, they may bite the antenna. Warning. Most will express
Warning.
fear the great white shark and consider it a man-eater predator. Definitively, it is a powerful, aggressive, and efficient
You
predator.
can see right through the gills. It's all hollowed out.
Look at the teeth, man. Yeah, look at the teeth. Fuck.
That whole area in there is just like more like it has no tongue though, isn't it?
Exactly where you don't want to be. All around there.
I want to see it
whole
licking its
area.
lips after it's had a meal. It would hurt its tongue on its teeth. So
I can't
I
lick
thought
it.
it had
No
more
tongue.
layers of teeth though.
It does behind there. I think they're just the big ones.
Okay.
But it
I think
has
the other ones come out and then they get bigger.
only happen because the shark confuses a person with prey, and as a consequence, they give a test bite. But it is unlikely that it keeps eating once it finds that it is not its usual food.
Fussy. How do you feel about those
Yeah,
sort
they
of
are.
sharks
They are
when they come
fussy.
to your restaurant?
I think that's most sharks. Yeah, well, they're the bitches that fucking. You know what? As long as they got the cash, I don't care.
All reptiles. Their barks are a way of communicating with one another. The saltwater crocodile is thought to have 4 different calls.
4 different calls.
Crocodile spends most of its time thermogulating.
Okay.
through the shell.
Did he just say thermogulating?
Reports from computer modeling that a GWS is capable of a bite force exceeding 1,000
GWS.
based on its jaw and skeleton structure. Australian saltwater crocodiles have the world's most ferocious jaws, snapping shut with 2-ton force that makes great whites look toothless.
Does it?
Tooth type. Again, due to their usual prey types, crocs and sharks have very different types of teeth. A crocodile's prey is typically not only larger than a shark's, but also have much stronger bones.
Yeah, it's another thing to think about.
Yeah.
Crocodiles used to big prey,
able
so it
to
likes
tear
it.
That's true.
wildebeest through death spin, but also
Didn't think
needs
about that.
to crush the thick
Look
leg
at that
bones.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
A
This
great
video
white-
is so full of shit though. Like apart from photos, well, the photos look real, but
It's
the
gone
guys
fast
talk
enough.
so much fucking shit.
by biting and thrashing.
I guess
their
we're talking shit too. So
Yeah.
A situation where a great white shark has enough jaw
look at
size
that. Good,
of a
good
salt
photo.
lacks the bite force and the teeth to
Is
make
it?
it. The salty has enough bite force and the right teeth.
Oh,
Serious
that's a
damage
dive.
or it can put
Looks
in
like
its
he's
mouth.
diving into the water.
Mouth is not big enough for a great white shark. In my opinion, victory goes to the crocodile.
Yes.
Shark is most likely to die
See,
from,
this guy's opinion.
but a salty can live just fine without a
We
leg.
described
Look at
that.
It's fun.
That's all for today.
Okay, he gives it to the crocodile. Now that he's mentioned the
I
big
didn't believe
animals,
that. You
the
know what?
crocodile-
I've actually changed after listening to that video. I don't believe that guy, so I've changed my mind. I believe you now.
Well, you think the shark's gonna win?
Well, just that guy was so unbelievable, and whatever he thinks, I think the opposite.
But you still think? Okay, so you're saying that
No,
a
I
crocodile's
still
gonna
think
beat
the
a bull
crocodile.
shark?
I think the crocodile is one of the most hardcore fucking animals in the world. I know the shark is as well, but
Okay,
I'm
let's see
scared.
this
I'm
picture
really
here.
scared of crocodiles.
If an orca can hunt down if a single orca could defeat a great white shark,
Yeah,
which I assume a great white shark can kill a bull shark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I reckon that'd be like on equal terms.
You reckon?
And that'd be a good fight. You know what? Can you look it up? Bull shark versus great white shark.
But do you believe this picture though?
No, not at all. Oh, but
Because
no. I think the
only if there
orca
are
would
5
beat
or
the
6.
shark. I think the orca's bigger and tougher than the shark.
Okay, so an orca would beat a
The
great white
teeth
shark.
aren't as sharp, but they're like, I reckon they're a stronger animal. I reckon that.
Well, then
I
how
reckon-
you gonna? Okay, what about an orca versus a crocodile?
Yeah, see, I'm still scared of crocodiles. I reckon like same thing. Like I reckon the orca is stronger than the crocodile, but I still reckon like the orca could bite a fucking leg off the cunt, and then it could just come back and just lay one mean bite on its heart or its fucking on its face or something, you know, and just fuck it.
Do you want to see an unfair fight?
Yes.
Other animals have no way of knowing the true size of the beast beneath.
This is crocodiles versus birds.
He appears to be small and relatively harmless.
Uh-oh.
This
Whoopsie.
Wahoo has no idea of the fate he's tempting as he wanders in to quench his thirst.
Mm-mm.
The water's edge is the crocodile's preferred kill zone. His approach is so quiet. Even the most vigilant or skittish creatures are taken completely by surprise. Using his powerful tail to propel himself up through the water, the crocodile's explosive attack is fast and furious. With the strongest bite force of any living animal on Earth today, the saltwater croc dispatches this hapless shrew with terrifying efficiency.
How did they get that footage?
I think it's all edited separately. It has to be. That's crazy footage. If they got that all at once.
Crocodile uses his aggressive power to tear.
Yeah, okay, I believe the crocodile is going to beat the kangaroo or the wallaroo.
Yeah, it'll definitely beat the wallaroo. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I don't know.
are there any animals left?
So I reckon we're down to the orca, the saltwater crocodile. So I think we can take the shark out. I reckon we can take the shark out because I reckon the orca can beat the shark,
Okay.
and the crocodile can beat the shark,
Right.
even though they're very they're hardcore motherfuckers. But I still think the anaconda's in there. But I think that'll get beaten.
Nah.
No,
I
it's
think there's
gone.
no-
All right. So I think we've got the orca and the
We can
saltwater
still
crocodile.
allow for the poison. We can still allow for poison, like spiders and stuff. But there's no
Funnel
spiders.
spider.
A spider can't even.
It's going to
compete.
die in the process. Like
Yeah.
any poisonous animal is going to die in the process,
Yeah.
unless it's a virus.
Oh, did you ever see the most amazing wildlife footage of all time? I'll show you. If you haven't seen it,
Go do it. What was that movie back in the day with the orca? Free Willy.
oh, check. I think this is it. This is yeah, Free Willy. Oh, that's only 240p. Let's see if I can get. It's called Battle Kruger, but I want higher resolution than 240. 81 million views on that one.
Where's this? Where's Kruger?
I think it's South Africa. Oh, such low resolution.
Alright, I can see what's going on.
Okay.
There's lions.
Watching the buffalo. We're moving right over there.
And there's buffaloes.
I just think I've seen it higher res than that. Still 240, sorry. Everything's 240. Everyone's just stolen it from each other and it's just really backdoored.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
This one's better?
No, they're all the same. I couldn't find
The
a
same,
one.
yeah.
We're heading towards the lions, believe it or not. Lions are right over there. We're very intently watching the buffalo. We're moving right over there.
They're right over there. They're right over there. This is on the fucking tour bus.
Yeah.
Exactly what they wanted to see.
I think it's a lovely day, Gerald. I don't know why you keep complaining about the heat. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. These boys are pretty hardcore.
It's a huge buffalo.
They're big. The fucking buffaloes are big, man. That like one-on-one with them with the lion. I don't know, I don't think a lion would take them on because they wouldn't want to get injured.
Well, how else are they supposed to eat? Look,
Well, they need a pack of them. Yeah.
They're crouching.
She's quite big.
the humans aren't even registering on these animals' radars.
Yeah.
And it's probably got maximum
They must
digital
be
zoom. Look, they're right near a windmill.
But they're not that far away. You can see the, yeah, I don't know.
I guess humans and lions can cohabitate certain parts of farms and stuff. Oh, that's pretty close. The humans know they're there.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Those male buffaloes are pretty tough though. They'll walk up to lions and tell them to fuck off.
I don't reckon by themselves they would. And there's a calf there too.
So yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Gonna grab the baby.
Oh shit.
She's going for him.
She's going for him. She's going for him. She got him. Oh, she did. She got him.
There he is. He's gone. He's just
Shit.
Oh my god.
They're gonna come back, aren't they?
You see that? Oh my god. Unbelievable.
Oh, she's gone now. Fuck. It's gotta be gone. There's fucking 3 of them there.
Guys, I'm shaking. Can you believe this? Now the buffalo are coming to help this one now. Watch.
They're too
They'll
late.
come and help this baby. Watch.
They're too late. Can they help him now, Frank?
Yeah, they can.
He's still alive, you think?
Ah, it's still alive.
My goodness.
Russell for Frank.
They're trying to drag him out. They're dragging him out.
Hulle het nou net 'n kleintjie gevang. Hier's lekker action hier so, jong. Hulle het 'n kleintjie hier so in die water in die
Fucking hell, man. This is hectic. What the fuck?
It's back. I hope they kill it quickly.
Oh, it's so
It's gotta be dead by now.
positief. Hulle het 'n
No,
klein
it's not. What the fuck?
There's a crocodile there too.
There's a crocodile?
crocodile.
Oh my god.
Crocodile. Yeah.
Coming out
Look at
with
that.
Check through the barn. There's a cock's trying to grab the baby.
it. Oh, good gracious.
Look at this. The crocodile's taking that baby away.
Oh my fucking god.
The crocodiles.
They're gonna lose it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
they're gonna fight over it.
Because I'm shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's coming for huge crocodile.
Oh, look at those dogs.
The lions have won.
The lions have won?
No, the lions have won.
Yeah, but look at all those buffalo coming.
Why didn't the buffalo come earlier?
No, they're gonna come and try and chase the lion, but I think they're too late.
I think you're right.
Now they got 20 buffalo, 30
Oh
buffalo.
my god! Yeah,
They went and got the
they
gang, man.
had to wait for the numbers.
Oh, they're too late.
Oh, they're still stopping there. Oh, the poor calf's gone. Oh, they're coming in though. Fucking hell!
You're too late. You're too late.
That is a brave herd.
Yeah, kick it, kick him, kick him. They're big. They know they're big. Look at that shit.
Whoa! He swatted at him and kicked at him. He's kicking at him. Look, he's kicking at him.
He's a brave guy.
Yeah, fucking A.
Ja, julle moet sien wat hier aangaan, jong. Die buffels is besig om die leeu's te omsingel hierso. En hulle, want die leeu's het 'n klein jatjie gevang. En die jatjies wil die leeu's nou bykom. Hulle jag die leeu's links en regs.
Ooh, they got him surrounded.
Ja, jy kan maar kom, jong. Hier's
And that one's...
Oh, straight up on the horn.
Shit!
They're going on.
Oh, John.
Oh my god.
Jason, will you go in the water?
You got the lot.
Is that the baby one?
Really? You get the fish. The others are doing those. They're going at the other end.
Shit, can you believe this?
Never seen that.
I've never seen anything like
The
that.
calf's still alive.
It is?
Yeah, it's trying to get away. It's standing up.
It is, it's still alive. Oh, is it? I'm going to the end of the water. It's standing up. It's standing
The calf just walked back.
Ja, they've got
He's
it back.
gone.
They got it back.
They've got him back. They do have him back.
Ja, hierdie buffels het die leeu's weggevat van daai kleintjie af.
They got it back. And the other ones. They're still
Oh my god.
Check, check.
Is the calf fucking...
Yeah, he got up and ran away.
What the fuck?
That's hard.
That's how tough those motherfuckers... Look at... Man.
It's just about revenge.
Yeah, this is just revenge. Oh my god.
But they hooked the one. Did you see they hooked the one?
They hooked the one.
They got the other one. Come on, Buffalo, go on. Oh, the big one.
Oh, shot. I just love the commentary from the South Africans.
Yeah. What an
I love
amazing
it.
video, man. Fuck.
That's the cricket. Everybody knows it, man. Everybody loves that shot.
That's fucking incredible.
Stop sharing. So that was, I'm very glad today to have presented to you, if you have not seen it before, the Battle of Kruger that happened in South Africa some years ago now. No, I don't. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
this is a podcast, and we should have probably been talking more during that entire thing. Oh well. Sitting there watching a movie, just had no talking. I love it. It's very good.
Yeah.
How good is that? It started off like a
That
little
was
calf
fucking
taken
amazing.
by the lions. The
There was a
dogs.
crocodile.
The crocodile had a tug of war with the little golf.
The reptilian coming in.
Trying to
He
take
was
away the
not
deal.
invited.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, he got away because the buffalo became really big, right?
I cannot
So I was-
believe that little baby survived that. There was 3 lions around it. What were they doing? Were they inefficient lions?
They were inefficient.
Maybe
I
the
would have thought in the first few
millennial
seconds,
lions?
yeah, they didn't know. They just want the avocado on toast, and their lattes. They don't know what the fuck they were doing, right? But they were
just,
fully grown, right?
massaging. It looked like it. You know what? That was a baby buffalo.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know they're
Tough.
tough as well, but
Would have been a
there
couple
was-
of weeks old.
there was 3 of them there, and there
Three of
was
them
a
at the time.
crocodile, and the teeth were everywhere, and
munching on it.
And then it got dragged up the
Tried to
bank.
gobble it up. It didn't succeed. Even the little crocodiles, they were like, I didn't know how to do this. Do you know how to do this? But just chomp down a little bit. It's 200 tons. 200, what is it? 2 tons of force.
2 tons of force. Yeah.
That shows
That
it's
guy's a
interesting.
wanker. I changed
Yeah.
my mind after listening to that guy's video.
It is amazing to see the calf survive all that without any kind of like guts hanging
Well,
out.
we don't know if he survived. Like
No, but he got up and
he
trotted
could have
back
been. He could have got up and ran back in there on adrenaline. Like he could have had all his fucking innards ripped out at the same
Yeah.
time. You couldn't quite
And
see
also
that
the
with a
water
240.
buffalo. Well, I know. But they
Yeah.
would have hung around and filmed the corpse, I reckon, and shown it later maybe. But I don't know. I really
That's-
want to know that calf just grew up to be a like
Yeah,
Bambi of fucking
Well, that could have been
savannah.
the new rebellion.
He's leading the attack against the lions now.
They're leading the attack.
But it's good for me to see the buffalo because I
crocodile.
always thought the bison and the buffalo were the same thing because I saw Dances with
Yeah, they're
Wolves.
they're
Talking
not
about the
the same
buffalo.
thing, but they're,
No, but water buffalo and bison are just standard buffalo, isn't that how it is? You know, Dances with Wolves.
Man, I can't remember it. This is Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
I
white
can't
man
remember.
comes and just starts skinning the buffalo
Yeah.
and just leaving the corpses and don't eat it. But the Indians used every part of it, so they were complaining
Yeah.
about that environmental
Yeah.
impact.
Right.
But
I
weren't
can't
they
remember.
bison? What's the difference between bison and buffalo?
Well, bison is just I think the bison are more like just from the Americas.
Yeah, so the bison is a type of buffalo, right? Or
Yeah,
not?
it's some kind of relation, of course. Yeah. Like a cow is.
No, but we've looked at yaks, bison, and buffalo.
They're all the same. It's all the same breed, man.
I can totally see them as different animals in my memory now because I just looked at all 3 of them. But
Yeah.
buffalo, I think, is more of a general term. If that's a water buffalo, with the it looks like its hair
Those
parted
big
in the middle.
horns. Yeah.
The horns where it's like somebody's parted their hair. in the
Okay,
middle.
in my mind, when I hear the word water buffalo, I think about Southeast Asia and like ploughing the fields with the water buffalo, like those
Yeah.
big cow sort of things that
Yeah.
pull those little dredge things around and mop up the fields. Yeah. But yeah, that's just in my mind.
And bison is clearly different.
Well, bison's that huge with the huge head.
Woolly.
And for me, it's that almost extinct animal. I think they still exist, but I think they're endangered. You know, I don't think there's that many around. But they used to be that used to be the migration of the New World. Like the savannas of the New World was the bison. And so when the people went over there from Asia and stuff, that's what they hunted, the bison. So it would have been madman. Like 10,000 years ago, you and me would have been like running down the fucking hill with spears.
What's the
against
largest?
those motherfuckers?
What's the largest animal a human can beat? Barehanded.
Well, you'd have to be able to either choke it out, or poke its eyes out, or punch it in the head.
Okay.
So there you're like pretty much your 3 options.
Kick. You can kick.
Well, you can kick, but yeah, like you'd need you wouldn't want to walk into a fight, like not knowing what method you were going to do, I guess.
You wouldn't. That's nature. You don't know.
Oh, it's just a fight. Well, yeah. Well, they're the only ways you can do it. Then. You can
Choose one.
You can either stun it, punch it in the head. Well, that's the easy one. You can hurt your hand, or like you got to choke it out. So you've either got to grab it.
I reckon knees,
grab
elbows,
it by the
heels.
throat from the front, or get it from
Stomp.
behind.
You can stomp.
Stomping. Well, in the army, they teach the best death hit when someone's on the ground is the back of your boot, and you drop on the ground and smack the back of your boot on the head of the victim.
Yeah. So that's a hands-free. That's weapon-free.
Weapon free, yeah.
So what animal do
But
you think it's
you're kind of relying on your big boots. though, so it's kind of a weapon. If you're barefoot, it might not be quite the same.
But if you had your heel on somebody's skull,
yeah, you need to get it right on the spot. Like humans are pretty resilient. You either got to crack it right on the spot, or you need a few goes at it.
Okay, what animal is the biggest animal we could fight and win?
Well, there's not many with bare hands and everything. Humans are pretty frail.
Like even versus a cow, even versus a buffalo, we're screwed.
Yeah, but we could run around. It would just take ages, I guess. Like you just need to wear it down. I don't know.
What would you do though? Punch it in the face? What are you gonna do?
I'd probably break its legs.
How?
That'd be by using
soccer moves.
I'd run up and look at its physiology and look at how
kick
knees
its
break
legs.
backwards. I'd kick it from the front. Yeah, so I'd do that to make sure it couldn't get me.
I reckon I'd try to climb something and maybe just land knees first into its brains. I don't know.
No, that wouldn't work, man. You'd end up hurting
Can you fight
yourself.
a bear?
You'd end up
Can
hurting
a
yourself.
human? Can a fully sized human beat a fully sized bear? Not koala bear.
Bear,
grizzly
like black bear, grizzly bear, brown bear, polar bear.
Human's dead.
Pretty much any of those bears would beat a human if they wanted to.
What's
black bears are the smallest ones. Black bears are the small ones.
So you might beat a black bear?
You might, but a motivated, angry black bear would still kick your ass.
But if you're imagine he's never killed before.
It's like saying a motivated angry black bear would be like fighting a monkey. It'd kick your ass. They're stronger.
Name the monkeys or apes we're able to beat in a fight.
Spider monkey.
No, but are there any we can't beat in a fight?
We can't. I reckon pretty much all of them, if they were motivated.
Baboon?
They'd kick your ass.
You reckon a baboon's going to beat a human?
They'd fucking flog you. In a second.
What would they do?
Just scratch your face open, and then I don't know, jump on your face.
An orangutan? Orangutan.
Just open your face up with a big punch,
gorilla. No chance.
Oh, that'd throw you across the forest. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no chance if you wanted to fight a greyback, a silverback. What about a female gorilla?
Oh, just as tough, but no mercy.
What about chimpanzee?
They're all stronger than us, man. What I'm talking about is a motivated. Because the whole thing is because animals like humans, right? Because we can walk up to them and go, "Hey, how you going, little fella? How's this?" Bang, bang, bang. But all right, so you set up a fight where you told the chimpanzee that this cunt wants to fight you, and he's on the other side, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to fight you," and then you went at it. He'd kick your ass.
You reckon? They're so huggable. I can imagine one in a nappy with a
Well, that's
cigar
what I'm
and roller
saying.
skates.
You could, if you pretended to hug and then just smothered and asphyxiated.
No trickery.
Get
A
away
real
with it.
fight.
All right, a real fight, they'd kick your ass.
One chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to kick your ass?
Whoop your ass, man. See you later. Good night.
Okay. But you've been in fights in real life with humans, right? Bigger than chimps.
Oh, silly ones, yeah.
But it wasn't to death.
No, of course not.
But you could beat a chimp.
I don't think so.
You don't
because
think
they're
you could
so
beat a chimp?
wily and they're so they don't speak English.
So
that makes it more scary.
I just can't. Chimps. What's the tallest chimp? If they were standing on their hind legs.
They don't
It's
need
not
to.
up-
Well,
up
it's
to your
all the
belly button.
crouching. All the crouching that makes it scary.
They won't get to use their weapons too. Do you reckon a chimp would use a weapon?
Well, they've got the claw. They don't have claws, but they've got big nails because they don't trim them.
Mm.
They could scratch your face like that. No, do that. They'd scratch your eyes out and shit.
Is that the main attack move for a chimp?
And they'd go for your dick. I reckon they'd go for your dick.
Yeah, maybe.
They would. They're primates. They'd go for your dick for sure.
Have you ever been robbed? Have you ever been robbed by a chimp? Like they've stolen your wallet?
No.
Or anything you were holding? Or a camera? Phone?
No, I've never been robbed by a monkey.
But you've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere where monkeys live, they're thieves, man. They love it. And they chuck your passport and your money. They don't give a fuck about that. It's like, what food have you got?
I was watching some documentary about I can't remember where it was. I think it was somewhere in China, but there was monkeys there, and the monkeys had learned to steal items off the humans, and they would keep the items safe, but the only way for the humans to get the items back was to give the monkeys food in return. Yeah. So like, I don't know whether it was set up by the park or whatever where they were at, but like, so like people would be there, monkey would jump on the back and like grab the sunglasses and jump off and just stay within like.
I'm surprised there aren't
this person.
And
they had to go get food.
There aren't more heists. Aren't you surprised? Like if monkeys are so trainable, why aren't there more people training monkeys to be thieves? I'm up in the second story window over there and go get me that wallet.
They're probably all the unsolved crimes. So that's
the monkey murderer.
It's the unsolved crimes, man.
The serial killer.
Get a monkey to start murdering people, yeah, and cover his tracks. Yeah.
So for each crime, depending on how the size of the crime, he gets one crate like one banana or a crate of
there's
banana.
think about it, there's no fingerprints involved. Like they're not on the database.
It's right. Think about how much you could like even through the air vents and stuff. Climb through there, and show the monkey the map.
Mate,
obviously,
they could. Monkeys,
the blueprints go through
a trained monkey could climb up a fucking side of a building, man. Like using even just a little, like climbing up the bricks and shit. You know, like they're crazy strong and crazy good climbers. That's what they do. That's their job.
I'm getting thoughts now.
They don't have any other jobs.
Like, what's something that you think is sort of sitting around secure, but not secure to a monkey?
Secure, but not secure to a monkey.
Like worth $1 million or more.
Well, like jewelry, of course.
Yes, of course.
Jewelry. It's got to be because they could wear it on the way out.
Yeah, true. They could wear it on the way out. That's exactly right. Where do you reckon the best place to go? Just people's houses. Just go through their drawers and shit.
Anywhere. Like they could even go like because the whole thing is like
lift a tile.
Train them to find facial recognition for monkeys. Like
train them to put the manhole back.
You can send them into like I don't know jewelry shops and shit. Like why not? The good ones. Get the new stuff. Like Tiffany's.
The alarms would go. The alarms would go off. I'm just thinking even while people are sort of.
What are the police going to rock up and arrest him?
No, but do you want to get away with it? Who owns this monkey? They'll catch the monkey. You want to get the monkey back.
How will they catch the monkey? How will
they catch the monkey? Then monkey will
train him not to be catched.
He's
uncatchable.
When the police artist sketching a diagram of what the monkey's describing, he'll go ooh, 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 like more like that when it's like the nose is a bit smaller.
No. We'll teach him in pigging. We'll teach him a different language to chimpanzee.
Even dogs could steal if you wanted to, right? You can train dogs to do a lot of things, right?
No, because they don't have opposable thumbs, man. It's fucking that is the thing that.
No, but fetch.
Yeah, but you can't open doors. You can't fucking put in codes like in a keypad.
So you're saying
like,
a monkey's better for being a thief?
Oh, monkey's way better. Come on. Are you serious?
Well,
I'd have one monkey over 10 dogs.
Yeah, you're right.
Any day.
A pack of dogs is not going to be able to make good thieves.
They'll just cause a disturbance. Yeah.
That's another thing. If you had multiple monkeys, you could get the first group of monkeys to create a diversion, and then the other ones just go in there and pick up the thing that requires 2 people to carry it, or 2 monkeys to carry it.
I think there's a movie about that, isn't there?
Is there? I don't remember the monkey movie.
Planet of the Apes?
No, they took over the whole world. I love that. especially the most recent one with Caesar and everything.
Oh,
Okay,
how good is the how good like the facial recognition? Like you can see the faces in all the monkeys.
Yeah, it's
Is the
amazing.
monkeys is that the right term
They're
to
apes.
use for
No,
the
they're
they're
not
apes?
monkeys.
No, because they're all different types. They're all apes. Right.
It's like we say monkeys, like we're monkeys, but we're similar. It's like saying birds and lizards or something. They're different though, aren't they? Like dinosaurs have become birds now.
No,
So
but, okay.
what, dinosaurs are not lizards, so it doesn't make
No,
sense.
but there's different types of dinosaurs, and the some of the bird because okay, so pterodactyls are different to like what are they called? Terra something. I like the pterodactyls and stuff. They're different to dinosaurs. That's a different genus, totally.
Is it?
Yeah, and then reptiles are different to dinosaurs.
Okay, well, how about this then? A crocodile is that a reptile?
That's a reptile. Yeah.
Is it okay to say? Is it okay to say lizard?
Well,
because a snake's not a lizard, is it? It's not like a snail.
Snake's
slug
not.
with
No,
a,
but
with a house.
I picture a lizard having legs for starters.
Well,
Like,
isn't there
like
a tailless, legless
where do you
lizard?
stop? Like, is a worm the same thing? You know, like I
Yeah.
don't know. Where do you stop?
So where do we stop with the monkey ape division?
I don't
Tail?
know. They've all got fucking opposable thumbs. 5 of them.
Exactly.
Tails,
We've got little
furry.
tails in our X-ray. If you look at the X-ray of a human, we've all got a little tail.
Yeah, no.
Six.
But humans are humans, right? No. But those cunts aren't building houses, right?
Yeah, but they do build stuff. Like birds build
They're not
nests,
doing
beavers
podcasts.
build
Are they
dams.
doing podcasts? Are they doing podcasts?
They might be doing a podcast of some
Where?
sort.
Are they?
In
Really?
trees in the jungle.
We're not smart enough to track down the.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We can say different species have different intelligence levels, but I'm still saying in terms of grouping them into a
But
certain
everyone's other than
range.
human.
But I'd say like even though a mouse is a mammal, it's like it doesn't seem the same as a human. Like, but monkeys
They're
do.
the ones we use for testing for humans.
Yeah, but monkeys look
Like
like
a
a
captain.
human, don't they? You can totally see a human face in a monkey.
Man, I can see human. You know what, man? If I fucking had enough alcohol and I go for a shit, I can see a human face in the tiles on the floor.
But monkey's closer. Monkey's
Oh,
about
he is
to
slightly closer. Yeah. Well, okay, sure.
Come on,
Yeah.
tell me. But look at a dog. A dog doesn't look like a monkey or a human, but a monkey does though. A monkey totally looks like a human.
Man, the more I've got a dog, he's Munchkin. He is 12 years old, just about 12 years old. When I look him in the eyes, I can see. I don't know whether it's human, but I can see a sentient being. You know, like I can see
Yeah.
that.
But you can see, we can see that in any animal that's got expressive faces.
That's
A
right,
fish
yeah.
looks non-expressive a lot of the time, right? Its face doesn't really move around.
I've never
No
seen it in a
eyes.
fish, but I don't disbelieve because I believe we all came from fucking the ocean anyway to start with. So
Yeah, I know, but birds are harder to read as well. Like it's hard for me to look at a bird's face and think, oh, he's worried, oh, he's angry. Now, I can
He's
see from
got
the body
silly
language.
silly feathers. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see from the body language. But like a chicken, like or whatever else,
Mm.
any bird, it's hard. Like birds and fish are hard to read their faces.
Yeah,
What they-
sure.
but a
sure.
dog-
but
a
they
dog's
have
easy.
behavior. They have behavior though that will dictate their thoughts, maybe because the chicken will get distressed and it'll
Yeah, you can
and
see the
run
body
over there.
language.
Or a
But that's
fish will
different.
fucking freak out and
But there are things like dogs and cows and pigs and I don't know about sheep. I don't know if I could read a sheep's expressions.
I reckon you could. You know what? You just need to know it.
Yeah.
All the animals have it. All the animals have it. But the question is, at the end of the day, is whether they have like what is the degree of consciousness? Now that I think is the fundamental question when you talk in terms of should we eat meat, should we not meat, should we slaughter meat, blah blah blah.
Well,
blah, blah.
insects seem to be less.
Well, that's the easy way out. That's the easy way out for me to talk about animal welfare.
No, but I'm not saying that insects deserve death, and it doesn't matter if they die. Like
No.
if we didn't have cars,
We've got no way of telling their feelings because they're just these little fucking things that just sit around and they're either
Yeah.
buzzing or they're not, or they're dead or they're not. You know, like that's fucking it.
if there are
But
thousands
whereas-
of them, I care less. I care less about animals who come in swarms, right? Like insects. If it's one spider, I'll say don't kill it.
Okay.
But if there are thousands of freaking things, right?
But
it seems to matter less.
But the single spider, like the one I found in my house, which I like, there's no way I was going to kill it. I walked down the road, but I hated it being there. But it was a single spider. But that would never be part of a swarm because that's the way that animal lives life. It lives life as a solitary animal. But I don't want it fucking in my kitchen.
It's like same with like cockroaches in Sydney. They're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
So one cockroach sort of mattered to me a little bit, but when my kitchen was just teeming with them, they'd go for 2 months without eating and then just re-emerge when there's a crumb, and then multiply.
Out.
Oh, you can smell them.
Well, the big ones you can't, but the German ones, you know how we were getting racist before about Germans? They are stinky little fuckers. Because I had this. Sorry, you go on with your story, and then I'll tell you.
Are they the big one? Are they the big cockroaches?
No, they're the little ones, the little light brown ones.
Oh, well, they're the main ones I was talking about.
Oh, right.
The indoor
okay,
cockroaches. Yeah. Those big ones don't come inside that often.
No, but they're fine. The small ones, yeah, they're fucked. And when they nest, they stink. It's horrible. And then you're fucked. As soon as they nest, you're fucked. Like you
need to get
burn it down.
So for me, as a vegetarian, 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm a vegetarian because I don't want animals to be in pain or anything or suffer or be, the whole false imprisonment and all the other stuff. But I think a lot of people who are meat eaters would say, yeah, it's better for the animals if they had a chance to escape and we had to hunt them than farming them, because then it's not as cruel if their whole life is in a cage or something.
Well, no, there's not a chance that with the population we have now, there's not a chance that the people can do that. Like there's not enough animals out there in the wild for
7.7 billion.
Everyone,
humans.
like you go to like an apartment block where there's like 10,000 people living within like a couple of blocks. Like, where are you going to go get out like 50,000 rabbits? Just hanging out locally.
If you think about animals as a type of food, like it seems harder than just growing crops and getting a plow and just chopping it all up and waiting for it to grow back again. Having to deal with all the animal mess and feeding them and all the other things. So if you were to choose
I think it's a farming process. Like, I think farmers are proud of the products that they produce.
No, but I mean, if you were to choose which is less effort, growing plants in like long rows, that's got to be easier than killing and having animals try to get away and say, no, please don't kill me, all that stuff. Please don't take me away from my mum.
That only happens for one day.
No, but then the farmers have to deal with it every day, like all the time.
No, but the whole thing, like, but this, you know what? Like all this depends on certain areas. Like, so you got arable land and you got non-arable land, and then you got feed and you got non-feed. So, arable land is like land that you can farm on, like on a regular basis, right? So the mineral levels or whatever in the soil are fine, and it's cleared enough that you can grow whatever you want to grow there in whatever the region is, blah 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 blah. But then there's a lot of areas in the world that you can grow animals where it's non-arable to grow plants, and this is what I think we should focus on. So, like, Australia is the best example ever because, like, half of the Riverina area, like half of the belt below, I can't remember the fucking names of the ranches, but there's this huge millions of acres of land that are that it's not able to grow sustainable farmland on crops. Yeah. But these huge expanses of land, they can let livestock just roam on and feed off whatever's happening. And in huge times of drought, they have to go drop off like feed. But these ranches are so huge that to herd the animals, they need helicopters, to just to bring these animals in. And so, like, these animals can roam wherever the fuck they want. Like, they've got like millions of acres of land to go wherever the fuck they want, find whatever land they want, root whatever you want, just fucking go. So I don't know, like, is that a bad thing?
So all of this, well, it sounds like that's a better life than farmed animals for sure.
There's always that day at the end of the day, yes, when they all get herded up, and yes, there's that day, and they all look at each other in the eye, and they fucking know. I know that, right? And
the question is though, how good does meat taste?
I don't know whether it's a learned thing or whether it's a.
Is it worth all the effort of humanity? And think about the other things about the environmental impacts. How much water it costs. How much water alone.
Yeah.
Just for feeding animals.
Yeah, but the whole thing about water is like, if we can sustain water, like, because there's the same 1% fresh water that's been on the earth for the last billion years. It's just the way we deal with it.
Yeah. And we can make clean water anyway.
Right. Sure. I understand that whole thing about the cattle and everything. Right. It takes a lot of water, but I think that is a reflection of the feedlots rather than what I'm talking about in arable as opposed to not arable lands. And when I talk about that, when that happens and all those feedlots disappear, beef will be fucking expensive. So it'll become a luxury item. But in terms of environmental practice, it'll be just done on those lands still, which won't take away from the earth. And this is all about sustainability. So then we need to, as people, think about other ways. Because I don't know, you know what? I don't like death. Death's inevitable. I don't know whether, you know what? If we can grow lab-grown meat and make burgers like that, and if I can taste it and go, okay, that's fucking almost there, I'd fucking change to that. I would.
Because meat is, there are so many meals you can have that are not with meat.
Yeah. And I don't know whether
it's a weird habit that everyone in the world wants to eat meat with every meal.
It might be a cretinous thought to have. I don't know. But you know what? Like, I think, like, I'm married to Ploy, right? So she's Thai. We eat a lot of vegetables, but we also eat meat as well on the side. We always eat good, but we always eat meat. And sometimes we'll eat a full vegetarian meal, and I'll go out of my way. I'll do a few things, and we'll finish the meal, and there's something fucking missing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Big time. And we both feel it. And I don't know whether that's just something we're just used to, it's just conditioning. So what if we did it for 6 months?
What if you had dessert, though? If you can think of your best dessert.
Yeah. It's going to be creamy. It's going to be something.
It's going to have milk.
Yeah.
Animal.
It's going to have fucking milk in it, man. Or cream and milk and all of those things. Eggs, fucking cream, fucking milk, fucking biscuits, fucking gluten, heaps of gluten.
And what about things that we use in everyday life, like shoes and couches and stuff? So, it seems hard to replace.
The old school materials of leathers and stuff are the best, but there's been this transition period. I think we had all this PVC plastic shit that came out in the 60s and 70s, and that's just fucking crap, it's all plastic based. But I think now we're like textiles are becoming better. I think hemp's like something like hemp. Cotton's always a classic, awesome thing. But like depends on where you are. Like cotton's not good for when you're in the snow,
Yeah.
because if it gets wet and then you get cold, then it's horrible. It doesn't relax. But I don't know. I think textiles are pretty good now.
So in terms of the leather industry, we could replace that without anyone
absolutely.
worrying about it.
Well, I think there's the big company. I think like Mercedes have done it for like many years now. So all their cars, they don't do leather. They do they call it Mercedes leather, and it's like a proxy
Nice
version of it. Yeah, it's a plastic version, but it's like a very good version of that.
Mm.
And but like technology can only get better. But but the whole thing is, Paulie, like if you've got that...
I don't want to know about the morality. I'm just asking.
No. What I'm saying is, like, if you're going to supply the meat on these non-arable lands, then you're going to have the skin.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to use it.
Mm.
You've got to use it. Yeah, you've got to use it.
What about what if you had something like dessert that's always going to have some sort of animal product
and gelatin as well, like a lot of
jelly beans.
Well, jelly beans. I don't know if they've even got gelatin in them, but gelatin's derived from boiling like pig shins.
Mm.
Yeah, and then they boil it out in water and then dehydrate it and make skins out of it, and that's gelatin. And they use that to set desserts. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's that's.
Let me ask you about which animals are worth more and which animals are worth less, because I haven't figured it out.
They're all worth the same.
No, they're not. Surely.
They are.
A mosquito. There are discussions about using CRISPR or something to magic. We could probably have the technology when we decide, in the future, next 20 years maybe, to just annihilate mosquitoes. Complete species side, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, but we're not smart enough to know the repercussions of something like that. I don't think
certain animals like bats might eat the mosquito.
What if it totally whacks out the fucking ecology, and fucking just starts a fucking barrel roll of fucking heckiness?
Well, in the early days before shipping, animals and sort of like native Australians even would not have been exposed to anything that the Europeans had spent thousands of years evolving to cope with, alcohol and milk and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the ships basically started traveling all over the world, picking up ballast. What is it? They take in water to help balance the flotation of the ship.
That's correct. Yeah,
and so they're pulling in all the microbes from that part of the ocean and sailing thousands of kilometers to the other side of the world and just releasing it all out and changing the ecosystem.
And all their poos as well, poos and wheeze.
But certain diseases and animals and stuff that are not native totally mess up.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. It's like the same thing as having a rat on a ship that, when you rock up on an island, escapes.
Yeah.
Like fucking...
And the people deliberately brought things like rabbits, right?
Yeah. Cane toads. That's the best one. How funny is that? It's a funny one.
To get rid of the cane beetle.
The cane beetle.
Did you say the cane beetle escaped anyway because they just climbed higher into the stalks?
I think we spoke about this in the last one. But the cane beetle lives up high and the cane toad lives down low. Yes.
They can't reach.
Just the old ones that drop off. Yeah.
But seriously, try to think of this for me. What makes an animal worth more or less? Is it intelligence? Is it? You said it was the amount of
consciousness.
Is that intelligence?
No. It's a recognition of emotion.
Okay, let me tell you this. When I was a baby, I don't remember getting my foreskin chopped off. I'm sure it wasn't pleasant.
Did you have it?
Yeah.
Fuck, why? You Jewish?
I'm Jewish. But I don't remember. That would have fucking hurt like a motherfucker.
Does it look bigger?
Remember. I just, every time I go for a walk, I've got to rub one out. So
Yeah.
when I'm a baby, that's fine. Kill me then. I'm a tadpole,
Yeah.
basically. Kill me
Yeah.
then.
Well,
I don't care if I
you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
like, but it's the most horrific thing to think in times of war when there are all these atrocities.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
you say the Nazis were grabbing babies by the ankles and smashing their brains against the
Yeah,
wall,
yeah.
it sounds
Yeah.
horrific. But that's
Well, it is. It is.
It is all this.
It's fucking horrific.
It is horrific.
It's fucking horrific. Yeah.
But shooting somebody with bullets is pretty horrific.
Yeah, you know what? They've lived a bit of life already. I think grabbing a baby
See,
by
but I
the
disagree.
fucking leg
It's the other way
and
around.
yeah, you know
How's
what?
potential worth more than accumulated life experience?
You know what? You do have a good point, and I fully get that point. I just, you know what? I don't even know how to answer that because
So what I say, like a mature adult is worth more than a baby. Even though everyone's talking about protecting the children,
no,
because
a
they're
baby's
defenseless.
worth more than a baby's worth more.
Baby's
No.
worth more than an adult.
Yes,
No,
it has to be.
no, babies used to die all the time. That brought the whole death rate. That's like in the old days. The average age in the 1800s of a human was like 40. Average age of death, or 20 something. That's because so many babies were dying during childbirth. They're kind of like a fetus that was just born. It's not like a.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm gonna remember. Their eyes haven't even got the strength to focus on anything.
No, they're useless.
They're
But not
useless.
just for now. Like,
So what are you gonna wait till it cooks? Nah, babies are pretty.
yeah, you know what? It's a very good point. But
Therefore, I'm leaning towards the more intelligent equals, like you were saying, the more conscious. Because okay, potentially, imagine this: if you die when you're smashed and drunk and you don't remember,
yeah,
that matters less than if you're wide awake and alert, and then somebody's got the knife to your throat and says, "I'm going to kill you now."
what does it matter less?
Because you're not going to remember. It's like somebody with dementia.
No, but then you might get to overcome your. You might need to think about things you wanted to listen to. Like if you do it when you're unconscious, you just poof, everything gone. You don't need to think about anything before the thinking stops. You might get that chance, even under duress and hecticness, but at least you get that chance.
But the thing is, it's almost as if death does not matter on this planet. It's only the moment of death that matters. Maybe that's what I keep paying so much attention to.
Well,
Because
does the moment of death matter either? I don't even know about that.
the moment of death matters because it hurts.
Oh, probably it hurts more before, depending on the death, but like, especially when you get old, fucking sometimes you can hurt for years before you die.
Yeah.
And you just get used to it. And
I'm in pain
humans
right
are
now.
resilient. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, on a scale, if we say the most
What's worth
intelligent,
more?
yeah, but of all the animals you know, would you say humans are at the top because we're the most intelligent?
I'd say humans are at the top because I'm a human.
Is that the only reason?
Yes.
Well, then look at it impartially. Then, who's worth the least? Okay, I'll just give you three.
Jellyfish, because they can respawn if you kill them.
You're right.
If you chop them up, then they can like form into more jellyfish.
Can they really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I've heard
they
there
can live
are
forever.
immortal-
Jellyfish can live forever.
I heard there's a certain type of immortal jellyfish and also a type of tapeworm, I think, can also live forever. Just keep rebirthing itself out of its own skin, sort of thing.
Yeah. Awesome.
Totally, like it doesn't lose. Like what we get is when we do a copy of our cells, when our cells duplicate one another, after 7 years, our entire body, every cell in our bones and everything is completely fresh, right?
Yeah,
but the copying process causes the tiny edges of the DNA to fragment or something,
All right,
meaning
all right.
we've
Okay,
just
so, like,
deteriorated.
I know, but okay. So all these animals we're talking about, the tapeworm, the jellyfish, their DNA spectrum is really small. You know, like they're very simple creatures.
Okay.
So okay, would you much rather live 10,000 years as a tree, or 70 years as a person?
You might as well say, would you rather live 10,000 years as a person with his feet nailed to the ground?
Well, no,
Like,
you get to
what can a tree
grow
do?
during that time, and I don't know
Yeah.
how you feel
You
as
see
a
the
tree.
seasons.
You might have different feelings, like I don't know.
You have fun
Who knows?
experiencing the life of all the
You might have
birds.
fun, all the birds, and
And if you
people
live in a
friends.
community in a forest
Yeah.
where all the trees are living for 10,000 years, you could have great
You could get
conversations over time.
entish. You could get entish, yeah.
Watch the invention of aeroplane going
But
overhead.
you're still there. You're still a fucking tree, right? So you got 10,000 years. You're a tree, or you
Yeah.
get 70 years as a person.
70, yeah, I'll go human.
And yeah, come on, yeah, of course you would. And you're a human. I'm a human. Of course you'd pick that.
No, but
because we've seen trees.
No, but isn't there another animal you would choose to be instead of a human?
No.
No, we're the best. And our race is the best too.
Like maybe like
joking.
Not even like because the whole thing is like the way I think about it is like it gets real bad in winter, and I think, oh yeah, be an eagle. Yeah, let's be an eagle.
Yeah.
And then winter comes along, and it's like I come home and I turn on my gas heater. I'm like, fuck being an eagle.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And our food is not alive when we have to eat it.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about it clawing at our face and shit as we're chewing on it with our beak.
I don't have to pay for electricity and gas and stuff, but I don't know. I think ours better.
Like I've got spare feet. They're not, and my hands aren't wings, but at least I've got hands. I've got 3 hands. Right.
And just earlier, just in case, I put socks on.
Yeah, the eagles aren't going to be going to their little wardrobe in the nest, are they? Saying, "Did you clean my socks, honey?" Yeah, and if we've got bad eyesight, we can get glasses. We've got a disease, we can go to the pharmacy. Yeah, human's the best. And also human in this age.
In
Maybe
this
we're not-
age, you know what? We have to caveat that actually, because humans this age, because humans maybe
in the past,
in certain other ages, might not have been might have been better to be an eagle.
And which country that you've heard of is having the people with the worst lifestyle? Do you reckon it's more about starvation or military dictatorship?
Anywhere where ISIS has been cleaned up and all those women that have left Western countries are living in tent camps and they're not allowed back to their own countries, that's the worst place to live right now.
Yeah. Worse than starvation zone of Africa or something. I even wonder about...
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know if... In my early childhood, on TV, children were starving. And we had to send money so that they could get food, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that there's any more starvation. I think that's gone away. I think it's now about clean water.
I'm not quite sure whether... I think they were hectic photos. They might have been staged photos. You know, I've told you, like, I've got a couple of mates from South Sudan, and yeah, it's hectic there, but not fully because of starvation. It's more because of internal wars.
Yeah.
So they've got enough money to all have AK-47s.
Right.
You know, but where's
they're
the
not going to
fucking
buy
food?
some rice with it.
Yeah.
But there aren't all these children sitting around in the dirt with flies on their eyeballs, are there? It's like the main shot.
You know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope that that's a bullshit. I'm sure there's, you know, fuck.
And a lot of the things about these countries where they've got really terrible poverty is that they're playing in their own feces. They haven't got a proper sewage system at all. Yeah. And if they have a drop toilet, they get emptied by these guys with they just run around shoveling it into the back of this tray and then dumping it in the local swimming hole where everyone swims and drinks drinking water. So it's not a truck. It's just wheels on a cart. They just like wheelbarrows, basically. They're like rickshaw, run rickshaws, and they just go in there and shovel the shit and then they just dump it down 200 meters down the road. Where
that's
gets
just
their drinking water.
education. That's just education, isn't it? Like, I don't know, man. I wish I was fucking good enough to be able to have a good opinion.
Well, Bill Gates is actually working on solving that exact problem.
Yeah, right. Well, he's a good
trying-
man to be doing it. He's got heaps of cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to try and, I think, incinerate the feces so that
Okay.
the engine of the entire system runs on the methane
Yeah.
to process and brings out clean drinking water from all the evaporated water from the
Yep.
shit.
I think I heard about this process, and it
It's
needs
on
to be
Netflix
done
now.
on a certain temperature, like just so it hits that right temperature.
you're a
so
chef?
it's not. Yeah, it's like a sous vide cookery.
Sounds French. Delicious. Now tell me about snails. Can you appreciate the taste of snails?
I've had a few snails. Yeah. I've had some ones that I haven't liked, and I've had some that I have liked.
Can you make out the little face on the snail? Like, what's going on with the look of it?
No. They look like an oyster. It looks like an oyster. It's all cooked up and like an oyster.
See, an oyster doesn't seem to have eyeballs or anything that I can recognize as sort of an expressive kind of feeling. If it's alive and has sense nerves, then I don't want them to die. But
Well, it
the
does.
snail,
It's definitely got nerves because I've opened them before and put lemon juice on them and they quiver.
oh, do they really?
Oh fuck yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. Yeah,
So-
but like you said, there's no eyeballs on them, but it's a sentient being, man. It's fucking
Sentient?
still-
It's got a brain?
Well, yeah, it must have.
Do all animals have brains?
I think they must have, but just on.
Because if you
smaller
take the
levels.
brain out of a human,
Well, if there's not a brain,
no, we've got a
there's
central nervous system.
There's a Yeah.
So it can respond. Like, you
Well,
know,
jellyfish doesn't, but then there's other attributes to it. But I think an oyster does. I think it's got a nervous system. It must have because it quivers when you put acid on it. So
yeah, but then so a tree like responds to sunlight. Like a flower will open when it's sunny. It's not like it's thinking, oh, it's
yeah,
sunny
but that's
now.
on a whole different level to us, man. That works on photosynthesis. So the
Yeah,
whole
but
purpose of it.
Yeah, but the same thing is like a frog's leg, right? If a frog is dead and you zap it with electricity, it'll twitch.
Okay.
So basically,
anything
if
will
you've
twitch
got-
with electricity. Any muscle tissue, anything with like follow through will twitch with
Okay, so
electricity.
my question still stands about the oyster, right? Somehow
Yep.
they've got some electrical flow inside their cells.
Sure. Yep,
That doesn't
they must
necessarily
have.
mean they're thinking or deciding. They could be, you know, I've seen them swim.
No,
They
they
basically
just-
open and close their.
Oh no, that's a scallop you're talking about. No, an oyster just sits there. An oyster attaches to like a post
A rock
and
or
just
something.
sits there its whole life, or a rock or a post or whatever, and just sits there its whole life, and it
Hmm.
filters. So it opens and closes. So it just sits there filtering the passing water
Right.
and whatever nutrients that it can pick up through that filter process. That's
So
what
it's
it
sort of
eats.
like coral is a plant, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is coral a plant?
No. I think coral is actually an animal.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Coral does
yeah.
not look anything like an animal at all.
No, it doesn't. But it must have features that it act like the
Yeah,
way
it's gotta
it
be the most
processes its
borderline
food and everything. Yeah,
of
it's
all
very
the things.
borderline. Yeah, it's very. But that's the whole thing is the spectrum, isn't it? You know, like life is a spectrum, and we've got the spectrum, and you can see that we're the pinnacle, the humans. You know, we got the tools, we got the
Brains.
farms and everything like that, and then dugga, and then down here you got the jellyfish and the coral. You
Yeah,
know,
but I want
they're-
to see. I don't want to be a vegetarian who's full of shit, right? So it's
But
important
you're
for
not.
me to
You're
understand.
not.
No,
You're
but I
not
don't
a-
understand which animals actually feel pain, or which ones are responding simply to electronic stimuli, or because of electronic
Yeah.
stimuli.
Okay,
Because my
sure.
central, but if you chopped off my hand and played with it with an electrical kit, it'll twitch and
Yeah.
do stuff.
Yeah.
My brain is nowhere near that fucking hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do. Okay, so like, say for instance, if you pull a worm, you pull out of the ground,
Yeah, that seems to have thoughts. Maybe.
right? And you're gonna go fishing
like-
with that worm, and so you
that
whack
seems
that
like
worm
Watcher.
on a hook,
Yeah.
and so the second you put the hook into the worm, it goes.
It reacts. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
It doesn't want the hook.
Big time.
Right.
It does not want it in there at all.
Right. Yeah.
It does
Okay.
not want it there at
It
all.
seems like a worm would have a brain. In fact, if we looked at a cross section of a worm,
Yeah.
I reckon you'd see brain located here. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to have a brain, right? But the thing is,
I
what
think it
type of
has
brain?
to. But the brain might be microscopic, or it could be the potential of a brain. But then where does consciousness come into play? Like, does this animal does it just wake up in the morning and just wiggle around? Because the whole thing is, we're humans. We cannot put our brains in any of these animals and feel the feelings they feel or anything like that.
Oh no, with virtual reality and stuff, we'll be able to
And
totally
wait,
plug in.
how's this? All right, how's this
Future.
for a fucking bad concept, right? So we're thinking about. Okay, so I just
To
explained.
turn someone vegetarian.
Okay, no. Okay, how's this? All right. A little bit. Okay, so I can put a hook into a worm, and I can see it squealing, and no, it's not. Does not fucking want it in there. Like it's fucking pushing as hard as it can on, but my fingers are stronger than the worm. You know, it's just a small little fucking worm, right? And I don't really have any feeling towards that. You know what? It's the same feeling when I'm at work and someone comes in and goes, "Oh, I've got the flu today," and I'm like, "Oh, do you? Okay, good on you." like,
no mercy.
Fuck off, man. Like, I'm not gonna put a hook in you, but
Get back to work. Same with the worm. Get back to work, you little worm. Just eat that hook.
Keep worm hurting.
So, what were you gonna say though? Like consciousness, right?
I don't know.
You don't
Yeah,
assume.
yeah.
You don't just assume it seeds from the electrical feed that passes through our brain, right? The brain could just be working like an antenna.
Any
The
animal
thoughts.
that has a function surely must have something more than just an electrical.
But plastic reacts to heat.
No, but
Scrunch up a plastic bag and put it on
no.
the table and watch it move
No,
around.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about any animal that does a job that doesn't need to be heat to be brought to it to have a function. It just does its thing.
Yeah.
Fruit fly, a worm,
Autonomous.
a fly, and any autonomous animal that's doing its thing.
What about a plant like a Venus flytrap?
Yeah,
It's eating.
the meat eater. Yeah. Yeah,
But
see,
we know there are little hairs. Like there are three little hairs. There are little hairs inside the
and it
Venus
takes
flytrap.
three. It takes
three
the-
tugs
the-
on those
Yep,
little
I know,
hairs.
I know.
and then it
Yeah, I've seen
closes.
the doco. I've seen the documentary.
That's not
It's
thought.
incredible.
That's not thought
Incredible.
that made that happen, right? It's programming.
You must
Like-
be programming. Yeah,
What do you
programming.
think?
The
This
word
that
programming
plant
makes more
has
sense.
a brain.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to have a brain to respond organically.
Oh man, I don't know. It's fucking. Let's split that conversation.
No, because look at fire, right? Fire seems to behave like of its own volition a little.
Oh,
That's pretty
yeah,
blurred.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay, we're recording again. So
Yeah.
this episode is clearly about animals. Who would win in a fight?
All sorts of animals.
Who tastes better? Which animals matter more than others?
I think there's we need a really deep, dark talking about this, and I think we've only skimmed the topic.
Yeah, because if we start getting into which animals matter more based on certain traits like intelligence and stuff,
Yeah,
it's totally
it's a slippery slope.
it can devise it goes into which type of that animal as well is better at this or that. Like, so for example, we could say African Americans, or just like African Negroids on humans are generally faster, stronger, and all the kind of fitness thing. They kick our ass, you know. survival test. But then in
Yeah.
intelligence levels, maybe because the white man was a little, scurry around, please don't hurt me, right? Had to figure out better ways of doing stuff.
How to
And
make
then-
nuclear weapons.
And then Mongoloids would have been more like, so you study hard now, right? Or something like that.
Drinking the milk.
Like, no, but like Asian type people.
Yeah.
Oriental race. Because there are three, right? Mongoloid, Negroid, and Caucasoid.
Yeah.
So they're like, what makes the almond eyes? I heard it was snow to prevent snow blindness because they were evolving. I think that's what
man.
it was.
Yeah, well, fuck, who knows, man. There's got to be an evolutionary trait to everything, but yeah.
Didn't we discuss what caused white skin? Who did I discuss that with? Was it you?
I think I've discussed it with you. Yeah.
It turned out
that's
to be the
another one we need
evolution
to-
of milk or something, the ability to tolerate
Possibly.
lactose
Yeah, but we don't know.
as a form of vitamin D.
Yeah. Or they could have been different
Favorable for UV
groups of
conditions
people.
up north.
Yeah. Certain things like that. Mm.
You're going to go to
Anyway,
bed right now.
I think it's
Because you
good-
only give me 30 seconds warning.
Yeah, I know.
So I might need to go to bed pretty soon. All right, then. Good night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's pretty late.
I know. All right, we've just done 3 hours, haven't we? All right,
Yeah.
3-hour episode.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything you want to say to finish the conversation about animals? Any final thoughts about animals in general? They're delicious.
Apart from the fact that I love them. I love them all. And they're all delicious.
Okay. Quick question: would you rather see one insect die or one animal larger than a mouse die? Or which would you rather not die?
Well,
A creature smaller than
a
a
whole
mouse?
cow can feed a whole village. One insect is 1/1000th of one man's dish.
So which one's
So,
is
so
one
to
matters
kill one
less if it
cow,
dies?
you can feed 100 people
Mm.
with the one life,
Mm.
or each of those 100 people would need 100 insects per
Right.
plate.
Okay, so an insect is less significant than a cow?
I don't know.
Well, if you kill it,
I'm just saying
it's
there's
not gonna
only
feed
one.
anyone.
I'm saying it's one life lost to feed
yeah.
that many people, whereas
Just killing
I'm
a
not even saying. I'm not even using it as a defense. It's just like a thought. This is like a,
Also, statistics, do they affect us? Do they affect us emotionally if we're going to give money, donate?
I think two things in human life that affect us so much more than they should are time and statistics, because neither of them are within our grasp. Like time, we were talking earlier. Like if you put any person into a dark room for more than 12 hours, that person would have no idea how long they've been in that room for.
Really?
Yeah, maybe a bit longer. Say 24 hours. They'd have no. It could be. You could convince them. You could convince them that they've been there for 3 days.
Yeah, right.
Right, and that's the person that come out of a life of checking their watch every 10 seconds, being on top of time, everything. Whack them in a dark box for 24 hours, and they have no idea of how long they've been there for. And then statistics, humans have no idea about statistics.
But the interesting thing for me was when you said you could wake up before your alarm clock.
Yeah, that's
so you must have some internal. Yeah, but
That's
you must have some
habitual.
internal. Yeah, but how would you? What's the amount of light in the room?
Probably the stress in my brain, like I can't not be at work on time or early.
Okay, how about this then? We put you in a box. You've got to start work in 28 hours from now. All right? And you get $1 million if you knock on the inside of the box to say, yep, it's been 24 hours. You can be 24 hours and 59 minutes, or you can be 23 hours and 1 minute. But anything outside of that, you don't get the $1 million. You still got to go to work.
There's no way I'd be able to do it. No one would be able to do it.
No way.
You'd be
What if
lucky.
you-
Like you'd need to like. What do you mean working? So I'm working while I'm doing it.
No, you're in the box. You don't do anything. You
I'm just sitting in a box.
Sitting in a
Yeah, I don't think anyone would be able to do it.
But what about your ability to wake up before the alarm goes off?
Because that's the stress of having to wake up. I know I need to wake up at that time, and there's all these other factors. Like I'm in my room and I need to wake up at like 8:15 in the morning, right? That used to be a time I used to set my alarm, and so I would wake up at like 7:30 in the morning, and I'd only half open my eyes, and I could feel the amount of light in the room, and I knew that I'm waking up soon to go to work.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, there's that pretense as well.
Do you reckon
I'm
while you're
pretty
asleep, you're aware?
I'm a scatty sleeper, so maybe that's got something to do with it as well.
But I've heard this many times from people. They are able to wake up as the alarm goes off every day.
Hmm.
And if the alarm's not even on, like they forgot to set it, they'll still wake up.
I'm pretty good with it. And I'll generally wake up actually well before the alarm. And
So we might have an internal body clock then.
yeah, maybe.
Or do you think there's no such thing?
Mm,
Circadian rhythms and stuff.
I reckon that's true, but that doesn't exist when you're living in a house with alarm clocks.
But the box isolates you from the sunshine and everything, so you don't know what time it is, though.
That's right. That's the whole thing. And I think everyone's so far drawn away from it. Like no one would know. Like if you gave them that limit for the $1 million, no one would get it. People would either do it way early or way late. Like you'd get people doing it at like 8 hours and 9 hours and shit like that. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've definitely been here for 24 hours."
Or if you said, "Okay, what time do you normally wake up?" I always wake up at 6 o'clock. Because of the alarm clock, even if the alarm clock's not working. Okay, then.
Yeah, but there's so many other little factors.
No,
like
but
if
listen,
you go to your same bed. Yeah.
No. Why does that matter? No,
Because
you put them in the box and say, "Listen, just go to sleep. Go to sleep." And if you wake up at the right time, within an hour of that 6 o'clock, we'll give you $1 million.
Yeah, but you've
We can tell
immediately
you-
put that thought in your head, so you're going to be like thinking about it. So you're not going to sleep properly for starters.
Okay. You and somebody else are betting $1 million that this person who wakes up at 6 o'clock every day, you've seen it happen many times.
Yeah.
You put them in a dark box where they've got no access to sunlight.
I reckon they
just
won't.
bet-
I reckon they won't do it. I reckon they'll wake up differently.
Because the sunlight
Still.
behind the eyelids is different.
Yeah. Everything,
If it's eyelid-
because the whole, because people like that do it. Like it's all about habitual shit. It's all about doing stuff in habits.
So it's not like we're pigeons with a home.
As soon as you shove someone in a box and tell them they're going to win $1 million if they wake up in a certain time period, you'd fuck that out totally, and they would have no idea. I reckon, like, no one would get it right. It'd just be luck. The people that would got it would just be out of pure luck.
Okay, so it's definitely about the eyelids, the amount of light that the eyelid is seeing.
I think that's a part of it for sure. Yeah.
So we haven't an internal clock with a circadian rhythm like pigeons can detect the magnetic field of the earth, sort of thing.
But
And
we condition it.
home.
I think we condition ourselves in our homes to sleep for certain hours and stuff like that. You know, like a circadian rhythm, pure circadian rhythm should be like going to bed an hour after dark and waking up half an hour before sunrise. You know, like that's the fucking circadian rhythm. But we don't do that living in a house with air conditioning and baths and showers and jobs.
So you reckon there's no internal clock?
There is, but you can condition it. The humans are fucking versatile, so you just condition yourself for what you're doing. Like, okay, so say I can wake up on the alarm clock, but that's after doing a job for a certain amount of months. If I changed jobs tomorrow, and tomorrow I had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I set my alarm clock for 6 o'clock in the morning, I guarantee you I wouldn't wake up at 5 to 6.
Okay. So it's about getting up at the same time every day, no
But
matter
in
what time you go
6
to bed.
months' time, if I did it for 6 months, 5 days a week, yes, I
So
reckon I
there's a
would.
sort of a short-term memory of a clock inside us.
I think it's conditioning.
Do you think there's any benefit to going to bed or having more sleep or less sleep or going to sleep before midnight or after midnight? Doesn't matter. Any benefits?
I don't think before midnight or after midnight makes a difference, but I think the amount of sleep and the solidness of sleep makes a difference.
So if you're
I
like
don't
me,
get.
if you're like
I
a
like-
vampire,
yeah.
I'm gonna wake during the night every day for most of my life, more
Yeah,
than
but
half
you-
of my
but
life.
but you still have solid lots of sleep, yeah.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
second
well,
day
that's-
probably.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's
Well, that's
nothing to
probably
do with
not the
nature.
best. I don't know, man. I reckon if you average a good 6, 7, 8 hours sleep a day, then you're fine. Because
You're
I
just
don't
as
sleep.
healthy as anyone else.
I don't
You
sleep
don't need.
2 hours.
There's
Who
there's
knows?
no bearing in health. You reckon?
We'll see in 40 years.
But I'm not the first person to do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because the thing is, there'll be people on the other side of the planet who are doing circadian rhythm, exactly the opposite of people doing circadian rhythm on this sort of southern hemisphere.
So just like
Or different countries, not-
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's not about the timing. It's about the nature you're living in. And you can never get a proper rhythm unless you're living in the elements. You know, like we got.
So
lights.
a shift worker is at no disadvantage in health.
I don't know. Probably, but no, I think it's more about because the shift. Okay, it depends on the kind of shift where you're talking about. If it's a shift worker that just works night shifts for 20 years solid, the same night shifts, then no, I don't think there's a difference. But if there's a shift worker that 1 week works mornings, the next week works evenings, the next week works mornings, the next week works evenings, I think that's bad for you. Because you'd be you'd be changing your sleep patterns like within weeks. Whereas if you get a solid pattern of doing the same thing all the time, every time, you just that's it, man. That's what you do, and that's conditioning. I don't know whether it's good for you or bad for you, but that's just what your body would adapt to.
You've also said that too much of something will make you unhealthy, right? Is there no muesli bar or astronaut food that you could just eat that one bar every day, as many as you want, whatever, forever, and you wouldn't experience any lack of anything? And you don't need any other food.
You'd be mentally inept, mate. Like, because it'd make me go mental. I got to eat different food every day. If I had to eat that fucking same muesli bar for more than a week, I'd be fucking going mental, and that would be bad. So it doesn't matter about the nutrition. It's the fucking. There's other factors involved.
But in terms of your health and not to do with mental, there's nothing wrong with it, right? If it's got everything you need.
Surely they're linked.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like scurvy or something where you haven't got enough vitamin C.
My gums aren't going to fall out. But
have you ever heard of scurvy in a real person? It's like, sorry, I've got to take some time off work. I've got scurvy. It's like, doesn't happen these days, does it?
I've heard of it, but I've never heard of it.
Only from pirates.
I don't know anyone that's had it. Yeah.
You only hear it in pirate stories where there was no vegetables.
Well, not just pirate. Or no, any merchant vessel stories. Yeah. Any traveling, any old bloody traveling on the open ocean stories. Yeah.
So they're basically just eating bread and meat for months and months.
No,
and months.
it's just lack of citrus. Like what? There's a chemical in citrus that because there's too much salt out in the open ocean, and because of what they ate salted pork and breads probably and shit like that. They just lacked a certain chemical that is in citrus fruit. Citrus fruit's got it, and it rots your gums.
Have you ever found yourself craving a food that you probably needed to eat?
Yeah, kebabs.
Really?
About 3 o'clock in the morning.
I just meant like there's some sort of so for example, for a vegetarian, we might be lacking omega-3 or something, right?
Yeah.
What is that? A type of fatty acid?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
know what
think
that
it's
means.
also conditioning, man. Like craving of food's also conditioning because it's not that like your body doesn't go, oh, I need some apple cider vinegar ASAP. One shot, 30 mils, 2 hours apart. Yeah, no, that shit doesn't happen. Like you
But
just
somebody with scurvy, surely they'd be craving an apple or an orange or something.
possibly, yeah. I'm not sure. I've never had it, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. They'd be craving something, but they'd
If your
maybe
bones are weak, maybe your body says to your brain, get some milk or something, right?
be maybe yeah, but I don't know whether milk is isn't that
Calcium.
isn't that myth? Like yeah, like but it's not going to stop you.
But other parts of your body, like you've had too many acidic foods. I just want some celery or some broccoli or something, whatever alkaline foods
Yeah.
there are. And isn't there some
think
sort of urge
The
in us
most
to
thing
try
I
to find-
crave the most thing I crave, I guess, when I'm feeling bad is water. Like it's not like I don't crave like a certain food. It's just like I either like if I'm hungry, I feel like a food. Like I'm like, oh, I feel like Chinese tonight.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, if my body's craving something, it's water.
Yeah. If you have a glass next to the sink and you just pour yourself a glass of water from the sink, or you have a cold Coca-Cola or something in the fridge, what would you choose?
I don't drink soft drink at all.
Really?
I only drink alcohol or water.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? For
I don't
health
drink
reasons?
soft drink at all. I don't really enjoy soft drink anymore. Yeah.
You like water?
Yeah. Well, no, I crave water. I smash it. Yeah. And then I drink a bit, so it's just like I drink heaps of water. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't drink soft drink at all. I don't
Let
like
me
it.
ask you this, because I hate water, right? I don't drink water. I don't think I've had any water to drink for years, 10,
Yeah,
20
right.
years.
Oh, I drink shitloads of water. My fridge is constantly full of fucking
I drink mostly
water.
stuff like this, right?
Oh, I hate
So
it.
do you reckon that, like, aside from all the shit that's in here, which is probably not made from the gods,
There's definitely no sugar because I could read that from the brief moment you put it on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, but do you think?
Wait, hang
I'm
on,
getting-
1 sec. 5
Yeah.
seconds. 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be meeting my water quota from just drinking soft drink, right?
There's no quota.
No, but I'm not. I don't need now because I've spent 20 years drinking this stuff without any water in it, like without
Yeah.
any separate water. That's
Yeah.
got water in it, guaranteed.
Yeah, everything's got water in it. Yeah.
So there's no reason for me
Anything
to go and
drinking's got
separately
water in it.
go and drink water, right? There's no
Yeah, but
difference.
There's diuretics.
What's that mean?
That's
Isn't that a book
things
by
that-
L. Ron Hubbard?
I hope not. No, because this is true. No, diuretics are things like alcohol, caffeine, some sugars, and like if you have excess of sugars, basically what it does is it makes your kidneys expel more water than what you've received.
Oh, right.
So say, for instance, if you drink a beer that's 300 mils,
Yeah.
because of the alcohol content that makes it a diuretic, then technically your kidneys will expel upwards of almost 400 mils of liquid
Right.
out of your body, as opposed to the 300 mils that you've consumed.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So that means that if you drink 20 beers in a night and your kidneys are expelling 100 mils extra per beer you're drinking, then you're fucking well on the way for dehydration.
Right.
So that's
You can't drink beer if you're dying of thirst. It's not going to help.
No, it's not.
It really wouldn't help.
Well, it will
Surely
in
it's
the
gotta-
very short term, but not in the long term. It depends on the term. Like,
Okay,
it depends
you
how long
only
you're
can-
going to be. If it's going to be a couple more days, then no,
How
don't
many
drink
days
a beer.
can you go without
Don't
water?
fucking drink it. Not many.
3 days without water.
Depends on your exertion, your activity.
Okay, imagine got 3 days without water, right? And
Well, that'd be like you'd be fucking bordering on death then, no matter what
Okay.
you're doing. Yeah.
You're bordering on death, and then somebody says, here's 3 liters of beer.
I'd drink it.
I reckon it would help you stay alive for sure.
It would help you stay alive, but it'll help you in the short term. But like I said, then as your kidneys process it, it would draw out more water from your body in the long run.
You've known some hardcore drinkers in your time, including yourself, right? Have you known anyone to just not have anything other than alcohol for more than a week? Nothing else.
Well, you never know people, man. Like when you drink, you smash heaps of water as well. I'll drink all night, but I'll also drink the same amount in water. I have to. Like, you have to. I don't know.
I guess because my drinks of preference would be things like, I mean, when I mix this with this, and then I pour some of this into it, I've definitely given myself at least 4 shots of whiskey.
Yeah, right. See, I drink the whiskey like that, just straight, and then I'll drink water with it.
But in 2 separate glasses?
I'll just have a bottle of water somewhere, and I'll just have like a swig of it every now and then.
What, knowing that you're doing good things for your health, or because you're thirsty?
Both, I guess. Conditioning. I've had pancreatitis twice.
What's that mean?
It means I have to go to hospital and get a stick in my dick.
Fucking serious?
Mm-hmm.
Inflammation of the pancreas. That's like pancreatic cancer is the...
It's not cancer.
No, but what is pancreas though? I don't know what pancreas is.
I don't even know either, man, but I know it fucking hurts like shit. It hurts like more than... Oh, man, it's more than you can believe. But when you go there, they give you really good drugs. But the only reason they give you really good drugs is because they know how much it hurts. And it fucking hurts. Have you ever had, like, gastro?
I don't know what that is. Like when you get...
Like gastro.
Diarrhea?
Yeah, but like gastro, like it's like a particular one where it really hurts in the tummy. Like you're sick as shit and just diarrhea, vomiting.
Probably.
Right, yeah. Anyway, like it's like that, but like 10 times. But you're not vomiting and shitting. You don't do that, but it's just that same pain, but in your abdomen.
So you don't know what a pancreas does?
I think it produces bile.
Oh, really? Enzymes or digestive juices are secreted by the pancreas into the small intestine. There it continues breaking down food that has left the stomach. The pancreas also produces the hormones insulin and secretes it into the bloodstream, where it regulates the body's glucose or sugar level.
Yeah.
Can you live without a pancreas? It's possible to live without a pancreas, but when the entire pancreas is removed, people are left without the cells that make insulin and other hormones that help maintain safe blood sugar levels. These people develop diabetes, which can be hard to manage because they're totally dependent on insulin shots.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good organ to fuck with.
I reckon I'd sacrifice the pancreas over most of the other gut bits.
No, pancreas is the worst, man.
Well, come on. You don't want to lose other things. You know, heart, lungs. Keep those.
Well, right? Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just as important as all of them. Like, and yeah, it's
no, because you can have just injections. You don't need to be put in life support.
Yeah, no, I think it's more complex than that. Like,
you can even get rid of a kidney. You can get rid of one kidney.
Look up pancreatic cancer and the death rates.
Is that because it spreads? Was that after it's removed?
It's just because no, it doesn't get removed. People don't remove them. I don't even know where that came from. Like, that doesn't happen.
Pancreatic cancer occurs when malignant cells develop in part of the pancreas. This may affect how the pancreas works, including the functioning exocrine or endocrine glands. Pancreatic cancer can
All
occur
right.
in
You know what
other-
cancer is? Look up like death rates of pancreatic cancer.
Is pancreatic cancer curable if caught early? Early stage pancreatic cancer is primarily treated with surgery, but if caught early, pancreatic cancer is treatable and potentially curable. It's critically important to educate patients about the options and importance of early detection.
It's all potential, but it's like the lowest rate out of all of them. Like it's the lowest survival rate out of all of the cancers.
Is pancreatic cancer a death sentence? That, of course, is because pancreatic cancer is the most aggressive, least treatable form of the disease, and in a large majority of cases, it reduces the victim's life expectancy to a matter of months. In short, more than any other cancer, those two words carry the approximate weight of a death sentence.
Yeah.
What are the final stages of pancreatic cancer?
Like
symptoms towards. It's just this is all in dot point form.
It's incredible pain. I know. I know what the things.
Pain.
It's incredible pain, and they have to cut. They've got to cut the nerves. Like when it gets too hectic, they got to cut all the nerves around the pancreas. Yep.
And so even though they know you're going to die.
Yeah, they do that to stop the pain. Yeah.
Problems with diet and digestion.
Just before you die. Yeah.
Weight loss and reduced appetite, feeling and being sick, a blocked duodenum, stomach emptying slowly, bowel problems. Damn. When we go at the end, it's going to be fucked up, man.
Yeah, man.
Sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why I'm a vegetarian. I feel like I saw somebody.
Vegetarians die every day, dude.
No. But what I'm saying is I'm able to imagine the pain from somebody else's perspective.
Yeah.
Empathetically.
That's just empathy, man. Like, man, I like to believe that 99.9% of humans have proper empathy.
But you have to switch that off when you eat meat, because you know where it came from.
No, I don't think you do.
How can you? So you can imagine, this calf probably was screaming a couple of days ago when I watched all his friends around it die. I was slipping around trying to escape in the blood.
Well, I don't think about that.
Did you know what happened? Did you know what happened for every single steak or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've shot the animals. I've strung them up on the trees. I've cut them up. I've done it all. Yeah.
But for that, you've got to disconnect your brain from being
No, that relieved my brain. That showed me where it was coming from, made me appreciate it.
Yeah, but you if you were imagining yourself being in the paws or hooves,
but I don't imagine myself. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that. Yeah, but like that's where the consciousness. That's where our discussion on consciousness. Consciousness and sentience come. You know what? I did it because I needed to know where it came from, because I'd go to the supermarket and buy meat. But
I understand that philosophy, but
that's a disconnect.
You would be in absolute trauma if you were imagining being that animal while you were shooting it or hurting it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like imagine it, like true empathy, right? Like an actor has to study to do this sort of stuff, right? To become another character. Like what's happening now? Your mother's just died of cancer in your arms, right? That sort of thing. If you can't live that and sort of show honesty, then you've sort of failed in your job as an actor, right? So,
but now can you turn around and be an actor that shoots a human?
Yeah, because you'd have,
and shows that emotion.
But but anyone can choose to switch off empathy if you want. Like especially a farmer, it's like just death, doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I can play computer games.
The farmer thing.
Like I love hunting in computer games.
Not
necessarily animals, because it's too close to what's happening.
You know what?
In real
I don't like doing it now. I don't do it anymore. I've sold all my guns. But I did, and I'm not saying I enjoyed doing it, but I think it was like a really necessary path to see, like, just to because everyone goes to the supermarket and buys a pack of sausages, fucking rack of lamb, fucking whatever. They got no idea what happened to that. And from what I did, showed me like that it can be done. There's nowhere to do like it's alive and then dead, right? There's nowhere to fucking like. What are you gonna do? Make it quicker? Like that's the only thing.
That's the fastest death. If they're running free and then all of a sudden, boom, they're dead, they're not going to suffer at all.
That's the only thing they can. That's the quickest you can do is the quickest death. Like that's the best, and that's still not going to take a certain level of pain away, because no matter how good a shot you are, no matter where you shoot it, it's not going to die straight away. Right? Never going to happen like that. Although the guns that we did use the first time were very big, and yeah. But
So how are they feeling pain if there's just 4 hooves just sitting there with smoke?
I'll tell you for example. I know you don't like listening to it, but I need to tell you as well, because you know what? These are things I saw as well, you know, in real life. And it wasn't like I wasn't emotional about it, right? Like, but it was also at the same time, you know, like we go to the soup. No, we brought sausages and steaks with us, just in case we didn't get anything, you know, like it's like it's fucking meat everywhere, you know, like, and it was, and I
was just camping.
Well, it wasn't. It was in property. Like I had friends that had property. You can't just take your guns and shoot everywhere. So it was like a friend's property, up near Mudgee, and okay. So this is the other thing. So this is a farming property, right? So they had cattle and sheep on the property, and the animals that we were getting were vermin, and in terms of the property. You know, so in terms of pastoral land, I know we weren't first there. The natural animals were first there. The pigs weren't, and the goats weren't. But, you know, they're invaders as well. But the humans own the land, and they had farms, and these animals broke the fences, ate the feed, fucking, you know, did shit that the farmers didn't want. And made the price of their produce more expensive for the consumer, and that's what it comes down to, you know. So basically, he got his kids, who were my friends, to go out to the property and shoot the vermin. That was the thing. Nothing went to waste. Everything was either, because he had a big bunch of dogs. Like, it was a full working farm, so he had dogs. So all the kangaroos. Meat went to the dogs, and then the goats and the pigs went to the family, to the freezer. But yeah, so it was all free, you know. It was all free. It's all done, and it was all to protect the farm.
Yeah, there's a certain part of me that says, philosophically, it doesn't matter if anyone dies. Everyone's going to die.
Everyone is, but just depends if they're.
If we're having a conversation about morals and ethics and stuff, because we've already assured our safety of survival and everything.
Oh yeah, we're
once we're at that point, not because of animal farming, because that's not necessary to assure human survival at all.
No, it's not necessary. No,
because you say there's something feels like it's missing off the plate. It's not as delicious as having meat in the meal.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I think that's conditioning, like what I was talking about before. Like, but that's with anything, like with pain relief, with anything.
Because I mean, don't forget, I was 12 when I became vegetarian, so I know what meat tastes like. All my favorite meals were meat. I gave it up and sacrificed the taste and everything. But now, I mean, if I could think that it was produced. Like, say, for example, vegan meals, right, can be made to taste like bacon or some other bullshit like shepherd's pie.
Yeah, but what is there? Okay, like, is
that's
there
just
like
to
a
encourage
massive,
me.
like,
I don't care about it. I don't want anything to taste like it. I don't want it. I don't want that flavor in my mouth.
And what is your thoughts on, like, what disgusts me is going past the fucking the vegetarian section in the supermarket and seeing like
False
vegan, false
bacon.
bacon, man, but in the shape of bacon. Like, why would you want that as a vegan? Like, why would you want to?
I don't think a vegan would want it. I'm
But
surprised.
it's sold. It's a product. Like, people must buy it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're transitioning, I guess it's the thing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, maybe transitioning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, I know. Look, it's a truly deep conversation, right?
Like
And I
lasagna, for
get it.
example.
Like,
Take lasagna. Like, imagine eggplant or something lasagna.
Yeah,
That tastes good.
moussaka.
Yeah,
Moussaka.
moussaka. So if you get a
It's
moussaka
also
and then a
got veal.
lasagna,
Moussaka also has veal in it, but yeah.
does not.
It does, yeah.
Bullshit. They haven't
Proper
been serving me
moussaka.
that the Greeks. Okay, but
Yeah, proper
on the
Greek
vegetarian
moussaka
section of
is
the Greek
veal.
restaurant.
Oh, if it's vegetarian, it won't be veal for sure. But of course,
I was going to bet because he lives around the corner.
a proper moussaka is veal. So it's the young, yeah.
Yeah, innocent,
But I'm
innocent
sure- of
babies
course,
that Paul
man.
doesn't care about having smashed against by the Nazis.
And you're
So
like, yo, I haven't had meat for years, and you
start with the veal because it's just doesn't have any life experience. It doesn't matter.
a bit more tender and
No, but it sounds bad because I mean I use that against people who eat meat. If I'm going to argue, say, so you eat babies, so
Yeah.
because if they're eating veal, because it makes other people care more.
But what
From my
about
perspective,
eggs? What about eggs?
eggs directly, if you got them from chickens who are just like they've, as you say, have been bred over thousands of years to produce way more eggs than they would ever normally lay.
Yeah,
They can't
yeah,
help but
yeah.
laying eggs all over the place.
Well,
right?
they lay one egg a day. That's it. One egg a day.
That's quite a lot of eggs. Imagine
Yeah.
producing an egg inside you. Go,
The chickens will lay one egg a day, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
That's a
But
lot.
I've seen it. It's insane. Yeah, but
So-
that's how they do it. Yeah.
So I can imagine in a situation like on my grandma's farm, they had chickens in a cage
Yeah.
they just used for eggs. And if they didn't take the eggs, I don't know what happened to them. Plus, if the chickens weren't in the cage, and I think it eventually happened, the foxes would just fucking eat them, right?
Yeah, the foxes eat the
And
chickens.
they eventually dug down the 3 feet to get to the bottom of the fence to get under. Because those two irresistible like chickens.
Yeah, they're yummy chickens.
I would have been frightened, but if they're in a cage in that situation, that's safe. And I think during the daytime they even let them out and walk around. And
Yeah,
then
of course they
at
would
the
have.
end,
Yeah.
at the
If
end
they're
of
on
the
a farm, of
evening,
course.
at the evening, they opened the gate to let the chickens in, and they wanted to go back in the cage.
Of course they're roosting. Yeah, of course the
like-
chickens roost, man. Yeah, of course they do. That's
But-
their home.
But in the situations like factory farms, you can see the footage of it. It's like it's standing on the cage floor, which is just made out of cage, so they don't have to clean up the shit. And they
Right, okay.
have just gone deformed and shit from the disgusting, awful living conditions.
You know what? This is you've just explained it. Okay, so I'll just not because I've got some friends that have worked on chicken farms and stuff. All right, so I'll just add in a bit of information here. You've just explained about how the chickens want to go into roost. Okay, even on the free-ranging farms, blah 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 blah. They're loving it. Da 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 da. All right, that is a natural thing for chickens to do. Right, is to roost. So even on these massive battery farms where there's thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking chickens, and this is where the bad thing comes, where they call them free ranging. So what happens is they have these massive battery farms with this fucking, I don't even know the numbers. There's just fucking chickens everywhere. And what happens is they all want to come home to roost, and there's not enough space inside. The problem is not the free ranging. The problem is the inside roosting areas. So there's not enough room for everyone to roost properly. So they all come in. So what happens is they don't go out and free range. So there's little holes all the way down the sides of these big buildings that have the chickens in them. And they'd be these big sheds that are really long, and they're just full of chickens. And then down the middle, they've got water lines and feed lines and stuff like that. But they're basically just bare barns. And and there's heaps of holes out the side. They can go out anytime they want. But because they put so many chickens in there, all the chickens are so scared that they're not going to get a proper roost, that they don't leave their space.
Ah.
So because it's like a per
Why
square
don't they just
it's a
build
per square
more-
meter thing.
Oh, because they
don't,
want to
because
maximize the output.
yeah, they want to maximize the output. But by doing this, they can still call it free range.
Right. So a fair thing for the chickens would be to make more roosting
More
space. than
space,
chickens.
more space, more space. Exactly, more space. That's it. No, that's all they need. That's all they want. All these chickens want to do is to have a fair, and they can huddle up next to each other. They don't need like a house for each person. They'll huddle up next to each other, but they still need that space. And they're very particular. Chickens are fucking like chickens. Like we eat chicken every day. Everyone eats chicken every day. But they're sentient beings, man. I've seen them. I've fucking watched them. I've had friends that have had them. I've had friends that have worked in chicken factories, and yeah. So go figure.
My question to meat
who I
eaters-
am. You know, like
My question, I haven't really got any questions for meat eaters because I was one, right? I know the answers.
yeah.
But I would have a question for somebody who sacrificed something. Like, I don't eat sugar anymore. It's like, why do you have diabetes? No, I just don't want to be unhealthy. Do you have any questions? Like, it's like sugar's everywhere. It's like, just do you want some Mars bar? No, I don't eat that.
I think sugar's a horrible thing. Yeah.
No, but do you have any questions to vegetarians?
No, absolutely none. I totally respect vegetarians. I don't respect vegans in the same way, or I don't respect vegans.
Vegetarians are
demanding
just
vegans.
hypocritical. Like, I'm a hypocrite for not being a vegan by being a vegetarian only, because I still
Yes.
have milk and stuff.
Possibly, but
So why
maybe
wouldn't
that
you
means you're
respect?
borderline?
You
No,
should
no, no.
respect the vegan and not the vegetarian. Then
No, because to become full blown vegan, then you're putting yourself like I've got lots of arguments against you. Like, because if you're a proper vegan, right? So bees,
yeah,
right? So they're workhorses. So if you're a vegan, any crops that require the assistance of beekeepers to bring bees to a farm to assist in their crops is considered against veganism. Do you agree?
I hadn't heard that one, but I would say if the bees are harmed, it would be. Or even if the
They're being
bees are
used
kind
to
of
work.
like,
They're being used to work, so they're being transported to a venue.
but
to
they're not
go
being
and
used like a
work.
horse is used to work. The bees are doing what they want.
Are they? They're being transported to an area that they didn't grow up in or anything like that. They're just being transported there, taken there, without anyone giving them like
It sounds very
no one signed a
different
report.
to the production of honey, though. You know what I mean? It's very different
Is it?
from that. Yeah, it seems different. I'll tell you why. Because bees, when they open and steal the honey that all the bees have made,
Yep.
right? And then they slam the door, heaps of bees are squished, right?
Oh, you know what?
And the bees made it for themselves
you know
for their
what?
survival.
I know beekeepers, and there's no way that they would squish the fucking bees in the fucking thing. They love them. They love them.
You know, beekeepers.
They would stand there. I know a beekeeper. Yeah, I know a chef I used to work with.
But they kill the queen, don't they? For some reason. Every so
Oh
often.
shit! I don't know about that. I don't know
Because
about
bees
that.
only live
Maybe
for 8
they
weeks.
might do that over. There might be some. They might do something like that over time. But you know what, man? The guy that I know that's a beekeeper, he loves them so much. He lets them bite him all the time, like so that he doesn't hurt them. Like when he's getting his outfits on and off and shit like that. He told me a story about once
he sounds more vegan than a vegan.
Oh, he's a chef, man. I've seen him stab people. This is that Irish chef I used to tell you about.
That guy. This is like
Yeah.
the Hitler thing. Hitler was a vegetarian.
No,
apparently.
I don't. Yeah, and apparently he was an atheist as well. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, entirely believable stories. Yeah.
Yeah. No. This is genuine though. This guy Johnny. I fucking hope he doesn't hear the whole podcast.
I hope he does. Good on you, Johnny.
I love the guy. Legend. Saw him stab a few people. Fucking. And yeah, became a beekeeper and a farmer in New Zealand.
Show me the scar on your head.
Oh.
It's such low resolution, I won't be able to see it.
I can't see. I can't see me.
Just point to where it is on
you
your
and you. I don't even know. I'd have to look in the mirror to find it.
But it's definitely visible.
It will be if I find it. Yeah.
There's no way we can see this resolution.
10 years ago.
Yeah, but if he stabbed you in the face with a set of keys.
Yeah. In the forehead. Yeah.
And he loves bees.
Loves bees and kiwi fruits.
So has he got a higher pain threshold than you? You guys seem to be kindred spirits in a way like that.
I don't know. I reckon I'm pretty good, I rate myself. But he's a bit psycho. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be an interesting fight. It'd be like the alligator. It'd be like the crocodile versus the bull shark.
Yeah. My ex-girlfriend used to... she had a high pain threshold. She used to do needling with her Eastern medicine course that she was doing and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What do you call it? You stick needles in people?
Tattooing?
No, just put needles all through your body like that.
Oh, okay.
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Right, and so in her class, right, the teacher said, can I have a volunteer who will be willing to show this particular, what do you call it? Something point?
Yeah. Some chakra bullshit.
Whatever, yeah, right? And so what he had to do was push her eyeball to the side and pins with an acupuncture the point behind where the eyeball rests in your face. And she did it. That's so fucking extreme. How
that
much
sounds like way risky for like such a
you know,
bullshit thing.
I'll tell you what, if that doesn't fucking cure my cancer, I'm not gonna do it. Right? If that makes me slightly healthier, no. I'd rather be a bit less healthy, right?
How come I can see on my video on my computer?
You just disappeared for half a second and then you came back.
I can see you twice. Like you're on the full screen and the small screen.
I can see you twice because Skype has this way when you move to a different page. So you can close that little window. It doesn't matter.
But okay, right. I'm behind you. Okay.
Yeah. I meant to. I couldn't see myself either. I could only see two of you the whole time.
All right, cool. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, it was really weird. Like I thought it was me in the corner, and then it was you.
That's me in the corner. Yeah. Nobody would have thought that that's what that song was about. Skype.
What you fucking Nostradamus?
Have you ever foretold the future? Tell me about anything mystical that you've seen. You've seen sometimes when you're high or something, you can see things that you probably would not soberly think are there.
On one of our future podcasts, I'll tell you about the time I had DMT.
Ah, nice. Yeah, apparently it's an echo into the universe.
That was a good one. Yeah, I won't get into it now. I actually really need to go to bed.
Yeah, good night. Thank you. Good podcast. See you later. Good night, everyone. Watching.
Number 2.
Listening.
Mwah. Love you all.
Good night. Press stop on the recording and the thing as well.
All right.
Okay, bye.